According to the Bible, God used Adam's rib to create Eve, which in turn created billions of people. According to the Mick Bible, Ronald McDonald cut a slab off of Grimace's purple torso and used that awful meat to create a billion of these, the McRib sandwich. Snacks with Wax!
Looks like they got it.
Hello, welcome to McDonald's. What can I get for you today?
2 McRib sandwiches.
For McRibs?
Let's see what's in the interior right
All
here.
right.
What do we got?
We have some kind of slab of meat. As you can see, the onions and pickles are all on one side. It reminds me of like when you order a pizza and say half pepperoni and half just cheese. As you can see, there's a little sawdust residue on the top. Looks like somebody sanded the bun. 150 grit, something like that. Looks kind of like a dandruff, you know what I mean? A little bit of bread drift. The onion tastes exactly like the onion from the McDonald's cheeseburger, just but in a different shape. So they must use this exact onion, cut it up into little pieces and put it on the cheeseburger. They must have their own onion patch, you know what I mean? Because there's no onions that quite taste exactly like that. There's a real McDonald's-ness to the McOnion. Here goes nothing. You know when you rip like carpet out of an apartment and you see that little like shit, whatever's underneath it? This is like that. I feel like that's what the meat is like.
How's the pickle complimented?
I don't know if the compliment's a strong word. I would say the pickle insults it. I'd actually rather just have a fucking cup of the pickles. The problem is the meat. The problem is the meat. I don't know what that is. The good thing about a rib sandwich is you don't have to specify what animal it's from. You just say rib. You don't know if it's a pig or a chicken or a cow or a sheep or whatever it is. But being that the McRib only comes out every few years, my theory is that this thing is made out of cicadas. The meat is spongy. It's very like sole of a shoe-ish. It's very like probably made in the same factory that they make the bottom of Nikes with. I don't even know, not Nikes though, not Nikes, more like a Payless Shoe Source. Somewhere in Indonesia, there's a factory that says Payless Shoe Source / McRib. You say Stride Right? I want to taste the sauce by itself, just so it doesn't.
How are you gonna do that? You're gonna give it a lick?
I think I'm gonna lick it. The sauce is very plastic tasting, very plasticky. Tastes like an action figure. The sauce tastes like new car smell somehow. I think at the McDonald's factory they have a huge vat of piping hot barbecue sauce, but what they don't tell you is they also use it to dispose of the unused Happy Meal toys.
How's the bread though? This is actually a different, not only the dandruffy top and it's a different bread than any other McDonald's sandwich.
The new McRib sandwich with an all new dandruffy top. You think this bread is different from what? It is more like
it's obviously a different shape than all the burgers and whatnot, but it's also a different texture. It looks like more like what they're going for, like a French roll. It's not stale tasting.
It's fresh, it's not stale, and as a matter of fact, I would say that the bun is the best part of the sandwich. But considering the shit quality of the sandwich, that's like saying the best thing about the coronavirus pandemic is the stylish masks. Herbal T said he had to experience this thing because I was talking about it.
I'm noticing the onion distribution is better, number one.
Yeah, it's much better OD. Less
It's
OCD,
got a,
more OCD on the OD.
The scent is like, it comes immediately back to me, like it's very nostalgic. There's something about that McPickle. It don't taste like unmistakably McDonald's.
What do you call that something you pickle something in? Is that called?
Pickling solution.
Is that true?
I don't know. Brine.
Brine.
It's a brine.
Oh, McDonald's has their own brine.
I believe there's the McBrine.
I was able to finish about 1/5 of this McRib sandwich, so I'll give it just that. 1/5. A 2 out of 10 for all you math whizzes.
I want you to be my lady, but you never told me your ex-boyfriend was crazy.
You should have told me, girl, come on.
And it's making me concerned for my safety.
Don't worry about my health. As God is my witness, I swear that every Thursday of 2021 there will be a new Snacks with Wax video just like this one, and it will be interactive as well. So tell me in the comments, what should I review next? For almost 2,000 years, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit was the most powerful Trinity known to man. However, in 1989, Lunchables came out, and meat, cheese, and the Holy Cracker gave them a run for their money.
Snacks with Wax.
I was curious about these Lunchables because now that I'm older and my palate is more sophisticated, I've had charcuterie boards all over the world. I wanted to go back to the original charcuterie board of my childhood and see how it stacks up to the rest. Let's open her up. All right, we got the old school classic, the turkey, Ritz crackers, and the cheese. The meat, it's a little sweaty. Looks like it's been doing some hot yoga. Feels weird eating these at night, you know? They're Lunchables, they're not Dinnerables. Dinnerables would be like a mini pork chop with rice pilaf and like a cylindrical baked potato.
Lunchables is actually more based on the TV dinner. So why is it not? It's more like a TV lunch.
What's so great about Lunchables for kids is it kind of prepares them for life. You know, like you have to do this yourself. You have to put it together into the little sandwich yourself. The kids that you see that just take out the cube of cheese and just eat it just like that, those kids are gonna have hard lives. Let's dig in. The turkey and cheese are two separate things, but one little crush from your gum and they just form one kind of, I don't want to say paste because it's more solid than that, but it's not super solid. It's kind of like a pudding of cheese and meat. It's pretty good actually. The cheese is nice, it's good cheddar.
Is the cracker Ritzy or is it more like wheat thinsy?
It's a Ritz cracker, but there's nothing Ritzy about There's nothing ritzy about the Ritz cracker. It reminds me of fancy ketchup. You know what I mean? You know how ketchup says fancy ketchup? It's like, you can dress it up all you want. I don't care what you put in it. It's waiting in line at the club. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't pass the dress code. It goes on hot dogs. Maybe the Ritz cracker was ritzy when it first started. Like when Ritz first came out, these crackers were only eaten by like aristocratic cracker enthusiasts. Good band name, by the way. This is a classic. It's just like all American children love their lunch, vegetable free. It's a sandwich. We owe this thing to the Earl of Sandwich. I know this probably isn't the case, but what if Earl of Sandwich, what if all of his family still collects back-end royalties on every sandwich? Everything sandwich, they still get money. You know how rich they would be? They'd be the richest people on the planet. Maybe they are. Maybe all those rich kids that you see on yachts on Instagram are all related to him, you know? In Bora Bora again, at Lindsay Sandwich.
Let me see that turkey.
It kind of tastes more like ham than turkey, honestly.
Well, I mean, I was just thinking, like, think about Thanksgiving. You know, you cook a turkey. Mm-hmm. None of the turkey is remotely like that.
Doesn't taste
Nothing
like white
like
meat.
that at all.
Doesn't taste like dark meat. Who knows what this meat is? It's better off if you don't think about it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. This meat is like Christianity. You know, like you want to just not research it too much and just think that it's true and good. You know what I mean? It's a faith-based meat. Because if you do your research, it's horrifying.
It's like internet privacy. You know, you just have to kind of let it go. Just.
Yeah, Bill Gates, I jerk off. You want to try one?
I guess I should, huh?
Oh.
First thing I notice is, again, how wet the meat is. Like if you were a blind person or something,
right,
you would never think it was like an edible meat. It feels like a amphibian skin, like a frog.
If anything, it would be like a mango slice.
This is fucking good.
Well, I've been a lot of places and I've eaten a lot of things, but coming back to the original charcuterie of my childhood, damn, that thing did stack up. I'll give Lunchables an 8.5 out of 10. Damn good.
My ex-girlfriends are all doing just fine. I cross one of their paths from time to time. They had to make a run, 'cause they could never be my number one. My first love is these words that rhyme.
As God is my witness, I swear that every Thursday of 2021, there will be a new Snacks with Wax video just like this one. And it will be interactive as well. So tell me in the comments, what should I review next? When Marie Antoinette famously said, "Let them eat cake," she received quite a lot of backlash. You see, at that time, cake was a rich man's delicacy. However, if she was alive now and said that shit, every American would simply go to Starbucks and grab themselves one of these, a cake pop.
Snacks with Wax.
This is the Starbucks cake pop, birthday cake flavor. I don't think this is what it's supposed to taste like.
You think it's a bad batch?
This tastes like uncooked dough. This doesn't taste like cake at all. Is that what it's supposed to be?
It does. It looks like pudding.
It feels exactly like Play-Doh. Honestly, tastes exactly like Play-Doh. I assumed that a cake pop would be like if you took a cake and you had a bunch of spheres cut out of the cake, you know, like a bunch of donut holes. But this is actually more like you took all the dough for one cake and squeezed it together into a pop. Sorry, man, it's horrible. I got a different flavor. I got the chocolate one. Maybe that was a dud, like an M80 that doesn't explode on the 4th of July. With chocolate, it's good. That yellow birthday cake stuff, you don't want that to be compact. You want it to be fluffy, you know?
This one's more like a brownie, something like that.
This is like a brownie. This is a brownie pop. And it's way, 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 way better than the birthday cake pop. I would think even if you gave this to a kid for his birthday, he would be upset. You know what I mean?
See that interior? Christ, that doesn't look anything like cake at all.
It's just not cake. They used the Honey I Shrunk the Kids machine and took out all the holes from the spongy, delicious yellow cake, which is not even that delicious, and made this.
It's actually made out of yellow cake, like the uranium shit. The yellow cake.
Uranium?
Or whatever, the nuclear shit. Yellow cake that Saddam Hussein had.
I'm not familiar with that. I'm not familiar. Sorry, you fucking psychopath. What are you buying, uranium on the black market, you weirdo? What are you hanging out with the dude from Back to the Future, McFly? Hello to this guy. The chocolate one is fire. Oh, I got coffee too.
How's it complimented?
How does it compliment it? Very nicely. It says all the right things. I love you. Do I look fat? No, you look perfect. Off camera, Herbal T, who's filming this, took a bite because he was curious. He says it tastes like a commercial adhesive, which is accurate. I think it's like whatever cake is made. Batter? Is batter what cake is made
Batter,
of?
yeah.
I don't really know much about cake. I could Google it. I could Google like what's cake made out of, but I'm not going to. I'm just gonna not know.
You ever made a pancake?
I'm gonna continue not knowing. Yeah, I made a pancake.
Well, pancake is batter. You know the consistency of pancake?
It's not like that.
It's not like that.
I'd way rather have a pancake batter pop than that.
Pancake pop would be a good idea. Maple syrup on the outside.
Cake pop sounds like a genre of music, doesn't it? I think it's K-pop with a trumpet. Cake pop sounds like one of those sex things, like the rusty trombone or whatever.
What would a cake pop be?
It's when you're hitting it so hard from behind that her butt implants explode. This is the cookie dough pop. Wow. This would be a great mortar on a gingerbread house. The little mini chocolate chips are fire though.
Yeah, those are like the chips on a Chipwich ice cream sandwich.
Yeah.
It's so fucking sweet. Sugary, pasty, gummy. I can't.
I've been pretty hard on Starbucks in the past, so I really wanted to give them a good rating. So I'm gonna give them 2 ratings for the cake pop and for the brownie cake pop. The brownie cake pop, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. This Play-Doh thing, it's unrateable. It's like an unfinished project in art class and the teacher gives you a 0. It's unfinished, it's not perfected, it's unrateable. As God is my witness, I swear that every Thursday of 2021, there will be a new Snacks with Wax video just like this one. And it will be interactive as well. So tell me in the comments, what should I review next? Whitney Houston once sang, I believe the children are the future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. And when she said beauty, she was referring to corn syrup and artificial flavors because the children she was talking about were Sour Patch Kids.
Snacks with Wax.
Shock the vote. A little bit of advocacy, huh?
Yeah, a little bit of advocacy. I don't know that I want Sour Patch Kids regulars to vote. You know what I'm saying? This website should actually be like, if you sign up to vote via Sour Patch Kids code, can't vote. It's a shame that we eat them while they're still kids. They never grow up.
Are you saying that Sour Patch Kids are kind of like the veal of the gummies candy world?
Yeah, they're only good when they're young. Once they get old, the gummy is less tender, and Sour Patch adults, they're all big and doing their taxes and shit. Me and Chris are the same age, right?
Right.
So you remember from the 80s and 90s the Cabbage Patch Kids.
I do.
Do you think there's any relation here?
I get the verbal connection, but as far as what they actually are, these are not dolls. Cabbage Patch Kids are in fact inedible.
I'll tell you what I think. I think a Cabbage Patch Kid fucked a Garbage Pail Kid, and out came a Sour Patch Kid.
I had a feeling you were going to make a reference to Garbage Pail Kids there.
The reason that you had that feeling is because there's something with the syllables. Cabbage Patch Kids, Garbage Pail Kids, Sour Patch Kids. Remember the Wizard of Oz, the Lollipop Kids?
I think
Or the Lollipop.
yeah.
It was the Lollipop Guild,
Yeah.
which is weird.
Da-da-da-da. Like da-da-da-da.
The Lollipop Kids, the Lollipop Kids, the Candyman can, cause it mixes it with love and makes you want whatever. Get a close up of these little kids. You know what they look like? Another 80s, 90s reference. Remember Gumby? I think in the 80s, Gumby was really getting around raw, if you know what I mean. And these are all his bastard children. And of course, they're sour. You would be too if you grew up without a father. This is a movie theater candy, and it's fitting because they do look like the star of like some weird horror movie, you know? It'd be a scary movie. A bunch of Sour Patch Kids coming to get you.
That's a great concept.
All right, let's take a look.
How about we get a little comparison of what this guy looks like compared to the picture?
It looks like a before and after picture for cocaine, you know? Especially because he looks like he just rolled around in cocaine and did snow angels in cocaine. Remember the old movie where they had like they were all in an avalanche and they had to eat each other
Alive.
So they're gonna have to resort to cannibalism soon.
Sour Patch Cannibals.
Unfortunately for Sour Patch Cannibals, there's like 0 nutrients. They're gonna all die anyway.
Well, if you're made of high fructose corn syrup and basically sour,
Yeah,
I mean,
whatever gummy is
then
made
if
out
you
of.
cannibalize that, you're in fact getting everything you need. Are they actually different flavors, or
I think they're
assume
different
they
flavors.
are.
Which one should I eat first?
I think the orange would be the best one if I had to guess.
I thought it would be more sour, honestly. Let's try the yellow one. Lemon. That would be a sour flavor.
Sour on sour.
You can start to feel your eyes water a little bit. What's interesting is they're both sweet and sour, but they taste nothing like sweet and sour. Sweet and sour sauce is not sour. Sweet and sour sauce, especially at McDonald's and Chick-fil-A, should just be called sweet sauce. There's no sour involved. I thought these were gonna be those things where it's like, oh, you can't bear it. Pretty good, actually. It tastes like if you had Kool-Aid and then put a little drop of lemon in it. You know what I'm saying? A little Kool-Aid agua fresca. It's not nearly as sour as I thought it would be, but you can like feel your tear ducts kind of warming up, you know, getting a little teary-eyed, a little watery. I guess that's why they have it at the movie theater. So like, if you want to seem sensitive in front of your date, you know, you cry at the movie. Or maybe you want to protect your masculine tough guy image, you know? Like if you're at the Notebook and you're crying, you'd be like, oh, I swear, it's the Sour Patch Kids. It's just... They could also give these to actors to help them cry for scenes. There's probably other situations where you'd want to cry, like cry on cue, you know what I mean? Besides that. Attending a funeral of somebody you don't care about that much? Sour Patch Kids to the rescue. Childhood trauma that you've never dealt with? 4 out of 5 therapists recommend Sour Patch Kids.
Side effects may include sour mouth, sour gums, crying out of the eyeballs, and tear duct.
Here's the red. I don't know if that's cherry, but whoa. The red one is weird. Kind of has like a cologne vibe. I don't know if it's good or bad. I can't tell. I'm a little bit shocked.
Like medicine, like?
Not medicine.
A lot of reds can be medicine-y.
Not medicine though. It's more like a sage. It's like cherry mixed with something that a shaman would burn. I'd dig it.
I'll try it if you want. Like,
Yeah.
I'm thinking I'm gonna try the lemon first.
Very lemony.
It does have a little bit of a weird aftertaste though. Almost like a little bit of vodka. It's like a lemon drop shot. The gumminess of it is a little more like a gum drop rather than like a gummy bear. When you chew a gummy bear, there's a lot of resistance, you know? It takes a lot of chewing. This one, you just penetrate right through, which is not what I want.
So you prefer the regular bear?
I prefer a bear, worm, perhaps a Swedish fish-esque thing.
Well, it's getting dark out here, so we might as well call it a day. As far as Sour Patch Kids, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 10.
Y'all just need to relax.
Lyrical gold medal Olympian cardio regimen. Still I got hardly no Benjamins. Motherfuckers talk for the show like Maury Povich and them. I can see the sorry whole bitch in them.
Sour Patch Kids was recommended by Galen Fraser. Let us know in the comments, what should we review next? Oh, was that your little shot?
That was my
Do it
shot.
again, do it
Yeah,
again.
that was my shot.
A lot of people think that Crispus Attucks invented Attucks. He did not. But he was a very important figure in the American Revolution. Now, a lot of people also think that Krispy Kreme donuts invented donuts. They did not. But they were also very revolutionary.
Snacks with Wax.
Krispy Kreme donuts. The alliteration in Krispy Kreme is cute and all, but you gotta be careful with alliteration with the letter K. You know what I mean? Two's company, three's a crowd. And it's not a good crowd. We're lucky they don't sell kimchi. I'm just here to try the glazed donut. That's what I want. Oh, it's hot. Holy moly. Oh my God. You know that expression, it feels like I'm floating on a cloud? It feels like I'm floating on a cloud and eating that exact same cloud that I'm floating on. Eating this Krispy Kreme donut straight off the conveyor belt is pure joy. You know how people always say it's the simple things in life, because life is really so meaningless when you really think about it in terms of like the larger scale, that we have to say that, because really the only joy we can get that's any type of near purity is the simple things. This is the epitome of one of those simple things. It's the cure to any existential crisis. It's the cure to any midlife crisis, one which I'm going through. And when you drink the coffee, like, you don't need a lot of sugar in this coffee because there's so much in the donut. They're just such a perfect union. Makes me think of Sonny and Cher, or who's another Sonny and Cher? Like
Abbott and Costello.
Abbott and Costello, Laurel and Hardy.
Bartles and James.
Do we have any modern references? Lil Uzi Vert and Megan Thee Stallion. They're together, right?
Is that true?
I don't know. Upon picking up the chocolate one, I can tell with my finger senses that it's a lower temperature, not as fresh. The glaze, it goes from liquid to solid, but it's good either way. It's good as a liquid. Then the cream crispifies and it becomes solid. That's what a Krispy Kreme donut is. It's not crispy or creamy. It's not cream, because cream cannot be crispy inherently. The only way to crispify cream is to make cream crispy into a donut. Therefore, it is no longer cream, and it has gone from cream to donut. I got a degree in donutology. When me and Herbs were children and teenagers, we went to Catholic church with our family, and once a month, they would have donut day. So on that Sunday, they would sell boxes of Krispy Kreme donuts. And that was the one Sunday that we were like, cool, we're going to church. You know what I mean? And I always would think, like, why don't they sell it every Sunday, first of all, to get people excited to go to church? And also, why don't they just use this as the Holy Communion? If the Catholic Church used these Krispy Kreme donuts instead of the styrofoam wafers as communion, as the body of Christ, because we all know the body of Christ wasn't made of styrofoam wafers anyway, so why not just say it was this delicious donut? The church would be full every Sunday. The Roman Empire never would have fallen. The Spanish conquistadors could have conquered the Aztecs without a single use of a sword. Pope would be fat as shit. You know what I mean? He'd live in Vatican City. It would just be more popular, you know? So I think that's what it is. Mm-hmm. That's what I would say. Y'all good? Yeah. Oh, good job on the donuts.
Donuts are great, y'all. Thank you.
Did you just throw away a shitload of them?
Yeah, we have to throw them away after 12 hours.
Damn!
We used to give them away, but people sued the store.
There's a homeless lady that just waits for them to throw away those donuts and just fills up her shopping cart with 100 donuts.
They literally had like 200 donuts at least.
Why you got to top my number?
I don't know. It's probably 300.
Now they probably have 400, I'd say.
Donuts.
It's not a nut, though. It doesn't look like a nut. It's not shaped like a nut. In fact, it's more of a bolt. It's more of a dough bolt, which doesn't have a ring to it, so I get why they went with donuts. Maybe people go nuts for the dough. You know Texas Hold'em, the word nuts? When it's the best hand you could possibly have?
Yeah, you got the nuts.
This is the best dough you could possibly have. You're trying to eat that one?
Yeah.
All right.
I was expecting it to be more yellow, like a Boston cream or whatever the cream that's in like a normal donut.
Not in Boston anymore, Toto. May not be Boston cream, but you sure seem like you have more than a feeling about that.
This white stuff and the brown stuff to me tastes identical. If you're familiar with a Tootsie Roll, it's like chocolate, but it's not really chocolate. I mean, a Tootsie Roll doesn't even taste like chocolate. That's way better than I thought it was gonna be.
The workers here are cool, the donuts here are delicious, and the coffee is downright vivacious. I give this place a 9 out of 10. And not to mention this place is open 24/7, so come on in whenever you want.
I like you better when you're high. 'Cause when you're high, you never make me cry. I like you better when you smoke. 'Cause when you smoke, you laugh at all my jokes. I like you better when you're stoned. 'Cause when you're stoned, you never bitch and moan. There's just so many reasons why. I like you better when you're high.
The snack choice this week was suggested by my boy Kurt B. Let us know in the comments, what should we review next? In 1986, Spud Webb won the NBA Slam Dunk Contest. Standing a mere 5'7", that's a very impressive feat. You know what's a much less impressive dunking-related feat? Dunkaroos.
Snacks with Wax.
Crikey. There's a lot of cake products in here, but there's only one we're looking for. Shh, I'm gonna scare it away. Got him. Gonna enjoy some Dunkaroos in the park today, huh? This looks like a place where like a wizard would grant you wishes, you know what I mean?
It looks like they grew on that tree.
Fresh off the vine. There's no kangaroo on the package. If I just discovered this, I might think the aroo was more like the old switcheroo, you know what I mean?
You remember Dick Vitale? Like something
Yes.
he'd say during a basketball announcement, like, and baby, it's a Dunkaroo!
Exactly. Is the old switcheroo based on the kangaroo, or did some guy just say aroo? Like, as if it's like the old switchathon, the old switchorama, the switchananza, the switchalooza. Is it like just a little nonsense word like that, or does the switcheroo come from the kangaroo?
I don't think switcheroo and kangaroo are related. I don't think. I'm gonna have to look that one up.
A switcheroo is when a kangaroo gets a sex change. Anytime a kangaroo is depicted in a cartoon, it's all cute and nice, but when you see a real kangaroo, it's always fucking somebody up on YouTube. They're kangaroothless.
What type of animal is a kangaroo?
A marsupial.
A marsupial. And what do marsupials have?
They have a pocket.
That's correct.
A pouch. So you're saying this is a pouch?
I'm saying that is a pouch. I'm saying this is marsupial in its being.
It's a package. Every single box is a pouch in that case.
No, I disagree.
A Capri Sun is a pouch. Should they have a kangaroo? Should it be Capri Sun-aroo?
Well, most things of cookies are gonna be like one big ass box of cookies, not an individualized pouch for just a small amount of cookies.
That's a stretch. That's a stretcheroo.
You know where you can find mini Dunkaroos?
Where?
Trader Joey's.
Oh my God, that's not what I thought they were gonna look like. I thought they were gonna be more like cookie-ish than cracker-ish. Whoa! Look at that.
Oh, there's actually like a little bit of what, coloring?
It's
or something in
sprinkled.
there? Is this the original flavor?
Yeah, it's vanilla cookies and vanilla frosting with rainbow sprinkles.
Oh.
I thought I wasn't gonna like it. I do. I like it a lot. Oh my God, that did something to me. You know, like a song can bring you back to a moment, a smell can bring you back to a moment. This, you know what the genius of this is? And I'm not just saying this, like, this made me think of like it's my birthday. Like it made me feel like it's my birthday. It tastes like a birthday cake, man. The sugar cookie with the frosting, it's basically just a hard cake. Hard cake sounds like a nickname for the cake you give somebody in prison that's actually filled with tools to escape, like files and chisels and hammers and shit. Harkening back to the Cake Pop episode, hard cake also sounds like a musical genre. That genre being the band Cake, except the trumpet player uses a distortion pedal. And of course, hard cake also sounds like one of those sex things, a la the rusty trombone.
And what would the hard cake be?
That's when you're doing it doggy style right after your girl freezes her butt implants. I don't know how she would freeze them. But the frosting is hella sweet and the cookie is sweet. Like just one is enough sweetness, you know? Eating this cookie with the frosting is like smoking on the patch.
It's like smoking a joint when you're high off edibles.
Right, which is what you should do before eating these. What I want to do is isolate a sprinkle. I can't believe how good this is.
Do the sprinkles have a texture or are they just flavor?
The sprinkles are not hard like a donut sprinkle. They've been bathing in this lotion, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Just the perfect amount of moisture. But it's not like they're taking a bath, you know what I mean? It's not a liquid, it's more solid than that. It's like a sludge. It reminds me of when I swam in the Dead Sea in Israel. I really did that. It's all sludgy and you float to the top. This is like the sugar version of that, you know? This is the sweet, the Dead Sea is the savory. This really would be the Dead Sea if you're a diabetic. Of all the ones we've done so far, this is the most unexpected. I thought I was gonna hate these. You wanna try?
Sure.
There's like one left.
No, you don't want those. Those aren't even like really dunkable right there. I don't want your like backwash dunk.
Get a fresh pack, get a fresh pack.
Dude.
There he is.
This tastes like, what's the toaster strudel? There's a butteriness to it. It's got butter, like a butter flavor.
Absolutely, I can't believe I didn't bring that up myself.
The word dunk, I don't think is the right verb. Because if you just dunk, no, you know what?
Wow.
You do. I didn't think that this would adhere to it. It's scientifically perfect. I was wrong.
You gonna call it a dipperoo?
I was gonna call it a dipperoo, maybe like a scraperoo. Dunk seemed like something you would do with like milk. This is really good, dude. It's the perfect amount of cookies and cream. By the time you get to your last one, it's you're done with both.
What? If you're a kid, you're gonna eat most of that frosting in minimal cookies.
There are kids that don't even eat, they don't even open this side. They just peel this back and just eat the frosting and throw the thing away.
I'm finished my Dunkaroos. Yes, I'm finished my snack. No need to worry. I got another pack. I'm giving these things a 9.5 out of 10. Damn near perfect and unexpectedly great.
I get older, but don't stop living fast. My back is giving out. I need to simmer down.
The snack choice this week was recommended by Zach K. Budgie54, Zach K again, Chiantho, Insomniac, Zach Villanueve, Smokes a Lot, 420-69777, E.Pix, and Sam L1230. Let us know in the comments, what should we review next? Oh man, that Kevin Hart sure says a lot of stuff, doesn't he? Speaking of hearts that say stuff, it's Valentine's Day, and we're talking about Brax Conversation Hearts.
Snacks with Wax.
Ever since I was a kid on Valentine's Day, people be giving away these little hearts with messages on them. Today, we're gonna rediscover them like the children we are at heart.
How long is it until you use teeth?
When I'm opening a bag, it's usually pretty quick that I go to teeth and just ruin the whole thing. Like that. Let's see what we got.
The quality of that is not great. The
This old like dot matrix style print, like, I mean, this is the same printing they used back in the day when it was first printed. Some of this stuff you can barely see, you know? Blank and pink, much like my actual heart. No. This is hardcore cherry. This tastes like when you had to like go to the dentist or doctor or something back in the day and they gave you medicine and they tried to make taste good for kids. But like you knew it was medicine that was just laced with some Gouldens. You know what I mean? Is it Gouldens?
No, it's Ludens.
Gouldens is mustard, right? I think Love You is a very aggressive one to have. It makes you wish they had like a lower level of conversation hearts. You know what I mean? They need one that says like, you cool, you alright. That one almost felt like I broke a tooth. This is like lime and mint combined, which is actually nice. You don't want to give your girl the rock star one. You're thinking that like you're a rock star in her life or she's the rock star of your life, but little did you know, you give her this thing and all of a sudden she's blowing the bass player from Imagine Dragons. It's banana. This tastes like a banana cream pie. Everything in here has like a cream. It tastes like it's dairy or something, you know what I mean? Be mine. Ladies, if your man is giving you only be mine hearts and not a wide variety of conversation hearts, be wary because he might be the jealous type, the type that thinks he owns you, the type with which there will be no more things such as girls' night out, bachelorette parties. If you do go to a girls' night out, you look outside the club and who's over there in the bushes with binoculars? Steve. When you're a pubescent lad, the heart that you want to give your girl on Valentine's Day is the kiss me heart because that's what you want, a big nice smooch on the lips. We're not talking marriage. We're not talking about be mine forever. None of that. We want a smooch on the playground, preferably French.
As a pubescent lad, you actually have to pre-sort all these and decide like this one's going to Jenna, this one's going to Tara, and like some of them will get the DM me, text me, goals, whatever.
Yeah, but your main girl, Kara, she's getting kiss me, and you act like this. Hey, Kara, I just got all these conversation hearts. You know what I mean? But you just have this in your hand the whole time. You got that joint behind it, like when you take a quarter out of a kid's ear, you know what I mean? You David Blaine, you know what I mean? You're pulling a magic trick that you know damn well Kara is getting to kiss me hard. Thanks, Mike. Oh my God. Oh, we already had this one. It tastes like cherry. It tastes like medicine. Ew, I'm not kissing you.
Ooh, that is not the one you want.
Ouch. Fellas,
Wow.
ladies, the heart you do not want to receive on Valentine's Day is this BFF heart. For example, after I gave Kara that kiss me heart and she decided not to kiss me, she handed me one of these.
Man.
After that moment, Kara would call me every day, but it wasn't to talk about us kissing, it was to talk about her and Doug.
Oh, he gave me the hug me, and I decided to kiss him anyway with my tongue.
This BFF heart's so good. The BFF should always be on the green line because it sure is sour when you have that feeling, you know? Hug me is a tricky one because like if my goldfish just died as a kid, I'd give this to somebody. I'd love to get some sympathy, but you don't really want this from a lover, you know what I mean? You prefer the kiss me and that's why you keep it on deck between them fingers, you know what I'm saying?
Hug me is nowhere near what kiss me is. I mean, I just think of the song. When I hear kiss me, it's like, kiss me.
Right.
And there's all these songs about kissing, like, you know, Prince has Kiss. You know, there's Suck My Kiss.
Right.
And I can't think of anything with Hug
There's
Me.
no. I can think of one hug song, Christian Side Hug. Remember that?
And that's exactly
That's it.
exemplary of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I'll try the purple one. I have a guess as to what it is.
I was right. Grape. It does have a creamsicleness to it.
A grape creamsicle.
It's not good though. Also medicinal. It tastes like, you know how there's grape drink and grape juice? This is actually tastes like if you mix the two
It's like a...
with milk.
I have one that I want to give you. What does it say?
It says love you. It really means a lot, and I'm very touched.
Because I love you as a brother. Did you feel it? Roses are red. This dumpster is green. My heart is gray and shriveled like a piece of charcoal that no longer is burning. So I give these a negative 15. Make me feel like I'm throwing pennies in the hole, wishing well. When Moses went atop Mount Sinai and collected the 10 Commandments from God himself, the Israelites below started worshiping the golden calf. They should have worshipped these, Goldfish Crackers by Pepperidge Farm.
Snacks with Wax.
People always say all you need is a good idea. Nonsense. Good ideas are easy to come by. The hard part is executing those ideas. People like goldfish, people like cheese, people like crackers. You put them together, make these, and you never have to work again. All you gotta do is take multiple things that people like and combine them. For example, people like cream, people like chocolate, people like cookies. Hey, US Patent Office, I'm David Oreo and I have a new product idea I want to put on the market. What's one of the most basic human needs?
I don't know.
Sleep. And what's a thing that humans love? Race cars. You know the first time somebody thought of a race car bed? When race cars first came out. Dude, so many people have thought of the race car bed. But then they were like, I don't know how to create this thing. What do I get, a race car, cut the top off of it and put a mattress on it? What do I get, like some race car parts and some bed parts, go into a laboratory and Frankenstein something together? I don't have enough capital to go down to the junkyard and get a couple axles and a couple tires, much less do I have the credit history that would be required to get a small business loan for such an undertaking. I can't do it. Then some amateur carpenter had a child who told him the idea for the race car bed and he goes, all we need is a wooden framed bed. We make like a little Kirby cut at the top of it, paint it red, slap a number on it, bam, we're in every IKEA worldwide. Now that guy lives in a race car shaped house with all race car furniture. He drives a race car with a vanity plate that says race car.
What's it say backwards?
Race car. My point is the hard thing is the legwork, not the idea. All of us could have thought of the goldfish cracker, but actually making a goldfish cracker, that's when you put down your bright idea pen, pick up the remote control, turn on the History Channel, and watch some stories about people that actually had enough ambition to make their dreams come true.
So you're saying all you have to do is think of a bunch of stuff people like and combine them into one.
Exactly. I'll give you an example. People like ice cream. People like getting a massage. What about an ice cream parlor / massage parlor? It's a double parlor. You're eating some mint chocolate chip, you're getting your feet rubbed. Why wouldn't you go there?
I would definitely go.
Has some vegan options, it's money in the bank. But now you gotta go find some good masseuse. You gotta find a low cost but high quality ice cream distributor. You're dealing with health department inspections. One of the masseuses put the hot stone in the microwave too long, burned somebody, now you got a lawsuit on your hands. You settle out of court, but your insurance goes up. It's too much red tape, I'm not doing it.
All of a sudden you mix up the lotion with the vanilla, you know?
Exactly. Anyway, goldfish in a bag. It reminds me of back in the day when you used to win a goldfish in a carnival in a bag. Talk about a prize that has way more cons than pros. Here's your prize, kid. Now go get a bowl, go buy some food, feed the fish every day, but not too much. By the way, unlike the stuffed animals, this one's gonna die, and you're gonna be really sad. Beautiful bag, classic Pepperidge Farm style bag, you know? I actually like these bags a lot better than regular bags. You just kind of open the top of them up. Of course I messed it up. Of course.
So simple.
I can't open a bag properly in this show to save my life.
You look like
look how dumb this is.
You look like the before guy on an infomercial.
This is completely disrespectful. Look at that. That's horrible.
John Pepperidge is spinning in his grave.
That looks like one of those like big fishing nets, you know what I mean? That catches all the tuna.
There's like a random dolphin in there.
This is what the fishing nets look like on Primus's boat when they're sailing the seas of cheese. Huh? This is really pathetic that I opened this bag like this. I gotta buy a Ziploc bag to save these for later.
You can't do that with that goldfish you won at the carnival, can you?
Wow. You can't just eat it and swallow it. You have to do like a pre-suck. You suck and then you chew, you know what I mean? You know what they remind me of? The texture is oyster crackers, which is another food that has fish in it, but it's not actually made of fish. It just like goes with fish, I guess.
I would guess that's where the idea came from.
Which came first? It's like the chicken or the egg. It's like an oyster cracker with extra Cheez-It style cheese on it, which is wrong to say because I'm sure these came before Cheez-It, so really Cheez-It has goldfish style cheese on it. Cheez-It's the cover band. These are the original. These would be better than oyster crackers on top of clam chowder. There's two things people like. People like goldfish crackers, people like clam chowder, put them in one. What else do people like? People like going to the movies. Serve that at the movie theater. You know what I mean? A little goldfish covered clam chowder while watching a movie. You got your spoon out, watching Knives Out.
That was one of the stupidest ones you've done.
What's this?
School of goldfish.
I knew you were gonna get it.
You gonna eat the old school?
Yeah, I'm gonna go old school and eat the whole school. You think I can shove this in my mouth rapidly?
Some kind of genocidal cat in a hat.
If you're gonna eat goldfish crackers, especially if you just down a whole school like that, definitely have some water on hand. It's gonna make your mouth very dry, which is not what fish like. You wanna try one?
Sure.
Oh, I'm so shocked by how they taste. Goldfish. I often eat them like this. You know, you kind of take one in half, kind of like fillet them with your teeth. But it's a great thing to give your kids, you know, on a long car ride or something. They're pretty good. Solid snack.
Well, today's episode went swimmingly. I give goldfish a 9 out of 10. A solid snack that everybody loves.
Yo, on my good time shit, like Janet in her youth. Laid back on a hammock in the booth, no offense to you, but damn it, I'm the truth. And that sweet talk stuff could cause damage to your tooth. That cavity rap get you rapidly.
Today's snack was recommended by Lauren M820. Let us know in the comments, what should we review next? Between the years of 1845 and 1852, nearly 1 million people died in the Irish potato famine. Smash cut to 2021 and there's such an abundance of potatoes that Taco Bell's making these nacho fries.
Snacks with Wax.
How you doing?
Did you know Taco Bell is called Taco Bell because it was founded by a guy named Glenn Bell? That makes sense to me because Taco Bell is basically Mexican food, according to a guy named Glenn. Every time I'm trying to review snacks, a goddamn Cessna has to fly by. What gives? These nacho fries are one of the few things on the Taco Bell menu that doesn't involve tortillas. Although knowing Taco Bell, I'm sure very soon they'll have a nacho fries burrito. Yo, take back what I just said. We found out they already do have a nacho fries burrito. They have a buffalo chicken nacho fries burrito. No bullshit. Buffalo chicken nacho fries burrito. That's a lot of words. That's probably more syllables than Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Which, by the way, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles would love these. And it's hard to say the word nacho fries without saying Nacho fries.
Chicken nacho fries burrito.
Damn you, airplane. Didn't we get a permit? I feel like an obese American had a daydream while napping on the deck of a Carnival cruise ship and woke up and was like, buffalo chicken nacho fries burrito. I just, like, it came to them like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It sounds like something Homer Simpson would invent. These fucking things are good.
They should just throw a donut in there at that, you know what I mean?
They should. And it should all be on a pizza. You know what I mean? 2 pizzas as a big sandwich, you know? Torta.
The concept is basically like a dip, a fry you dip in cheese.
Yeah. I thought it was gonna be a bunch of fries laid out with like stuff on top of it like nachos, but it turns out it's just the cheese, you know? Should I go for a triple dip?
Definitely.
It looks like a little claw hand. Hand? You know, dogs have paws, humans have hands. What do birds have?
Birds have...
Wow. First of all, there's not enough cheese. I could probably have 3 of these. Well, the bag is pretty small, which, by the way, look at the bag on the window. It's a black cardboard, solid, awesome looking thing.
That's very different. Usually they'll have a burger at like a fast food place and it doesn't look the same. This, like, the packaging is completely...
It's not fair.
Yeah.
I should ask for money back. If you ask for half your money back at Taco Bell, you're getting like 75 cents. It's not really worth going in the drive-thru again. You're gonna spend more money on gas going back around, you know what I mean? If you've ever had nachos at a baseball game, it's just like that. This is baseball game nachos. Minor league, major, whatever. Probably the same cheese. Do you think they got different cheese for the major and minor league? You think they step up the cheese?
Yeah, they have a like recruiting department, you know, scouting the cheese.
You used to play for the Davidsonville Cobras, but here at the LA Dodgers, we spend a little bit more on the cheese.
To me, it looks just like a straight up standard seasoned French fry, and now you dip it in cheese, but you're saying that that's not the case.
No, it actually tastes like it would be quote unquote Mexican-ish in nature. You know what I mean? As a food genre.
Yeah. Something Glenn would have thought of.
Glenn outdid himself with this one. Yum.
Really generous dip.
I'm a big dipper.
I'm more of a little dipper.
When it comes to snacks, some people are different constellations. Isn't there a dude with the fucking arrow? Or is that Orion?
I think that's Orion.
Orion got a belt and an arrow?
I believe so.
Well, whether it's Orion or Cupid, any fucking person that has an arrow like that, they can gladly shoot these straight into my mouth.
Whatever happened to the Chihuahua?
The Yokiero Taco Bell Chihuahua. The problem with using a dog as a mascot is dogs don't have a long life expectancy. We'd all like to think that Spuds McKenzie, Duke from the Bush's Baked Beans ads, and of course the Taco Bell Chihuahua are all somewhere in some dog retirement community playing shuffleboard together. But alas, if that's happening, it's happening above the clouds. Honestly, I would wager that when the Chihuahua died, they probably ground him up and put him in the chalupa meat.
Hey, Christ. He's actually their new mascot.
Was that seagull talk for Yokiero Taco Bell?
Yokiero Taco Bell.
Damn, he's chilling.
What would
up
be
there.
his catchphrase if he was the nacho fries guy?
Oh, fucking. Like, it'd probably be that something with, it's
Nacho fries.
It's nacho fries, it's mine. Squawk. He smells them.
No, oh, there he goes. Dive bomb.
So yeah, tastes like a sporting event in a good way. Very good way, honestly. You want one?
Yeah, yeah.
I got a sketchy. What are you? Oh, dude! Stop littering all over San Diego.
Yeah, you get a little snip. It's such a cheap ingredient. They buy it by the fucking, not even barrel. There's just like an oil tanker of this shit.
So you think at like the Taco Bell headquarters, there's like basically a reservoir full of it?
Have you ever seen them restock a gas station where they bring in a tanker? They got one of these, and it goes around to baseball stadiums, and now it goes to Taco Bell too. Whoever's making this shit,
Yeah, they kill
is killing it. It's like a very red. It's like a hybrid between a seasoned fry and like a hot Cheeto in color.
There's a slight bit of hot Cheeto-ness to it, yeah.
My big mistake was that these fries have already gotten room temperature. You got to eat this immediately.
Oh, no Grubhub and all that nonsense. You should actually eat it pretty much by the time you've gotten your change in the drive-thru.
You know how like hot Cheetos stay on your fingers? It's like less finger stainy, but it does combine with the grease of the fries. You don't want to go like touching people's car seats after, you know?
That statement was made by someone who has children. Nobody else would think, don't touch people's car seats afterwards.
Oh, dude, if I gave these to my kids in the car, there would be cheese everywhere on everything. Torrential hurricane of cheese all over the car. The car would be a Volkswagen Cheetah.
thing keeps falling.
Honestly, my final take is like I would rather have like McDonald's fries dipping in this same nacho cheese. Not only did I think outside the bun, I thought that nacho fries were pretty damn good. I give them a 9.5 out of 10. Fantastic as far as I'm concerned.
She the type to throw a pint glass at some jealous thoughts. Also, she the type that might overdose on Jello shots. See her in the corner with her homegirls double fisted.
Today's snack was suggested by EJ. Let us know in the comments, what should we review next? Dean Martin is an American entertainment icon. Dean Cain is an actor who played Superman. As far as other famous Deans, there's sardines.
Snacks with Wax.
We are currently in one of those mini Targets. I am betting that they do not have sardines here. Herbal tea?
They definitely have them here. And canned meat. Who was right? Let's see.
I think we might be in for a treat.
I have so many questions about this. 12 to 22 fish. That seems like an awful large range of fish.
If you go to a wing place and there's a 12 piece and a 22 piece, those are two different orders on the menu. They can't be like the same price and be like, yeah, we might give you the 12, we might give you the 22. I don't know. But then again, it could be 12 big ass sardines or 22 little guppies. You know what I mean?
They don't do that with wings. You could get a 6-piece. It could be, they might give you 6 little pieces. 6 big pieces.
That's true.
They're not going to give you 2 for the price of 1 because they're smaller.
They don't give you 2 big ass wings
No.
and say this is just like a 6-piece. Look at King Oscar though. His mustache is long as shit. He probably has his mustache length of sardines in the package. He's just like he fucking matched them up to his stash. Did you see his royal shoulders?
Yeah. What is he the king of? King of what?
Sardinia. By special royal permission, the Queen had to give King Oscar special royal permission so he could wildly catch some sardines. And these are still only $2.50. I feel like we got a pretty good deal. I don't know what they're gonna taste like. And you know what? I don't even know what they are. I don't know where they're caught. I don't know if they're from an ocean, a lake, a pond, a puddle, a farm, whatever they get farm fish from. Like I've said before, the show's not called Facts with Wax, it's called Snacks with Wax. We don't do a bunch of pre-show research and find out where they're from and go, in 1845, King Oscar actually invented the sardine when he was... We thrive on ignorance. That's why we're so blissful. I'm more familiar with the song Sardines than I am with the food sardines. Sardines, hey, and pork and beans. Did you know that song was produced by Rick Rubin?
Yes, I heard it on a podcast or something.
A little known fact.
That's Junkyard, right?
Junkyard Band, yeah. Sardines are known for packing in a lot of nutrients into these little things. They got a lot of good things that the body needs.
You were saying they pack in nutrients. A common expression is like we pack them in like sardines. Like they're just the idea of, you know, like you think of a subway car that's packed at rush hour.
That goes back to this thing being 12 to 22 fish. How many people can you fit in a subway car? Well, that depends on the size of the people. You get a bunch of big people from America, you know, how the L train in Chicago, you can probably fit 10 people on a car. You know what I mean? You go over to Tokyo, you can probably fit 40, you know? Same size car, different size people. You know why? Because people in Chicago, they eat deep dish pizza and sausage and they look like the Bears guys. You know what I mean? Ingredients: lightly smoked bristling sardines, extra virgin olive oil, and salt. It's just fish, olive oil, and salt.
I'm curious what the scent is going to be when you...
Holy
wow.
moly. Smell that.
Dear Lord.
That was an intense smell. I don't even know how to describe that. I mean, oh! As you can see, there's oils floating around in it. Do you see it? And see it getting all over
so
the side?
the head is cut off?
The head is cut off, it looks like. Oh my God.
Dude, you gotta eat a big chunk.
I'm trying, man. You're right. I should have got a utensil. Look at the little tail. Oh my God. Oh my God. This looks like something a cartoon cat would eat. Garfield or...
Heathcliff? That looks like some Heathcliff found in a trash can behind an Italian restaurant.
And then he serves it romantically to his girlfriend. He makes a fucking candlelight dinner with a hubcap. It's so animalistic, dude. Like when you see the tail go in, you feel like a bear or a snake. Did you ever have a snake?
Yeah.
When you feed it, I mean, I've said that to you like I didn't grow up with you. You're my twin brother. I know that you did have a snake, but...
The snake I had as a kid was the little one that ate fish. It's just like that.
You know, and you see him go... This is what a baby bear eats, you know what I mean? Like a little bear would be like looking at his mother, learning how to fish. His mother's like catching trout that are swimming upstream, jumping up a waterfall, and he's just over on the side with these little Teddy Ruxpin looking bears. Like, the sad thing is, like, all these guys died so we could do this show, so we could kind of eat them jokingly, you know what I mean? It makes me think, like, when a sardine goes to heaven, does he get wings? We get wings in a halo and go up a level. They get legs in a halo. And you know what birds get? They get gills in a halo, and all of a sudden these seafaring birds, their dream all their life has been like, damn, I just wish I had gills, so when I try to dive down in the sea and get a fish, I could be down there for a while. And in their heaven, they do have gills, and the fish, they swim real slow. Just like a sushi, you know the sushi places where it has rotates around? Just big fat fish swimming real slow, like a Carnival Cruise buffet, and they're just down there with their gills like, under the sea. It's about that time. Give me the camera. Just give me the camera. You look like the drummer from like Collective Soul or something like that.
Yeah. The smell from, you know, a solid 4 feet away, it's...
You don't want to try it?
No. I'll do what I gotta do, you know, for the public. That, you know, that's what they want.
You think the public is out there wanting desperately what they're what a lot of people in the public right now are thinking is, you know what I really want? I want herbal tea to eat sardines.
I'll go with a medium-sized one. As the first impact on my tongue was really bad, but then once you chew it once, very olive oily, you're right, it's very oily in general. This is not something I would eat regularly. Not at all. Small finger? Small finger.
We came, we saw, we conquered. All hail King Oscar, but these sardines are not for me. I give sardines a 5 out of 10.
To a teacher, self-indulge the kind of thoughts of a tweaker. A little bit of wine and a little bit of reefer. D'Angelo voodoo out the speaker. You asking questions, but I can't give you no answer.
Sardines were suggested by my boy Dave. Let us know in the comments. What should we review next? The Great Gatsby. What a masterpiece of a book. It's been published in 42 different languages, and it's read by people all over the world. You know what else is read? Twizzlers.
Snacks with Wax.
Twizzlers. What are they? I don't know. Nobody does. I do know that they're licorice. Licorice is also how an alcoholic describes a bottle of hand sanitizer. It's not liquor per se, but it is licorice. Trust me, it'll get the job done. You notice I got my Michael Jackson / Twizzlers collab jacket on, you know what I'm saying, to commemorate the moment. Let's take a peek.
What we got?
I mean, we know what Twizzlers are. They look like the braids of a redheaded person, you know? If you had this as your hairstyle, you'd have corn syrup rows. These look like what drumsticks turn into when you're on acid. Dude! I can't keep time on my beat because time is non-linear. It's all an illusion. If you made a gingerbread nightclub, this is what the velvet rope would look like outside. You see all these claymation characters standing there waiting to get in the club. Speaking of claymation characters, a really depressed claymation character would tie this into a noose. You know what I mean? Is that too much? Gumby attaches this to his harness when he goes mountain climbing. Or do you think Gumby free solos? I don't know. Gumby is an old reference even for me. I know what you're thinking. You're like, hey Wax, what else is gonna happen? Are the California raisins gonna make hammocks out of them? These things are like a rope. Being that they're a rope, why don't they sell them in like a spool? You know, like bubble tape? They could do a Twizzler spool.
I think they do sell like just really like long ones.
Really?
Know? That could be red vines, I don't know.
I think it's the word spool sounds weird. It sounds like stool and splooge, and it just sounds gross. It's not like tape, which maybe tape sounds gross too, but...
Tapeworm. I think that's actually a genius marketing idea.
Twizzler spool?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, if you get them at the movie theater, they're just like, what length do you want? And they just... Kind of like if you go to like a
If you go to Michael's Arts and Crafts and buy fabric, what length Twizzler do you want? Speaking of movie theaters, this is true by the way. Twizzlers, other than popcorn, are the most eaten foods at a movie theater. That makes me think it's not just movie theaters taking a hit during the pandemic, it's also all things associated with the movie theaters like Twizzlers or even movie theater popcorn suppliers. Conspiracy theory. The coronavirus was invented by microwave popcorn companies. Because they're probably killing it, right? Pop secret indeed. What is your secret, Pop Secret? A laboratory where you're making coronavirus? The FDA walks in for a random checkup. What are you guys doing here, Pop Secret? They're like, just making new butters.
I picture it as like, you know, it's a conspiracy in that there's like a Zoom call between Orville Redenbacher, the dude from Jiffy Pop, and the Pop Secret board.
Act 3 or whatever, you know what I mean? COVID-19, which is a conspiracy between the 19 microwave popcorn leading brands. And we're here to take down Big Pop.
You know, the mafia family meetings where like all the different families get together. It's just like the mafia of popcorn.
Yeah, when they find Orville and Redenbacher dead in the back of a Studebaker.
Orville and Redenbacher.
When they find both Orville and...
Because that's two different people, Orville and Redenbacher.
Oh, I'm thinking of...
You're thinking of the Wright brothers, Orville and Wilbur.
I am.
Orville Redenbacher.
When
Orville and Redenbacher.
When Orville Redenbacher's found dead in the back of a Studebaker with Tommy gun wounds to the face, we're going to know that he's the one that snitched.
Wait, we're talking about Twizzlers, right?
Just talking Twiz, you know? Licorice candy. Forget all that nonsense. Let's get down to beeswax.
Which is probably what those taste like.
I don't get it. I don't get it. Dude, you know when you're a kid and you blow out the candles on a birthday cake and you lick the frosting off the candle? And then you get one lick, you get all the frosting, then you try another lick and you just taste a birthday candle. It just tastes like that. Back in school, did you ever chew on the top of a pen? It tastes like a pen cap. This is probably the first thing on Snacks with Wax where I would say it doesn't have enough sugar.
You ever think about, you know, you're kind of trashing these, but you could actually be a good spokesman, given that your name is Wax.
So you're asking me would I sell out? Like if Twizzlers came to me and be like, look, we love your music, we love your snack series, we want you to give us a 10 out of 10, and we'll give you $1 million if you endorse Twizzlers and you go on TV and you say, Twizzlers are the best candy I've ever had. You're asking me if I would do that? My answer to that would be $2 million. For $2 million, I would do it. I would do it for $100,000, dude. For $100,000, I would go on TV and tell the world my favorite candy was Twizzlers. It tastes like lipstick. If you had a blender, you put in 1 Luden's cough drop, about a 10-year-old worth of birthday cake candles, a little piece of a rubber tire, and a stick of lipstick, mixed it all together, then hardened it into what it really tastes like, a crayon. It tastes like that. It tastes like a crayon. I'd rather eat a crayon. There's something cray off about it. I know you want to eat one.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Whenever you wear that hat with your hair, you look like some kind of like 90s rocker, dude. What band are you in, bro?
Not like Stone Temple Pilots, more like
What's that? Bush.
Yeah, or,
you being
or
a bass
Soul
player in
Asylum.
Bush.
I was
yeah.
actually the drummer of Soul Asylum. I'm gonna tell you up front, I haven't had a Twizzler probably since I was a little kid, you know? Little kid.
I don't know why I'm laughing at that so hard.
It doesn't look like a food product. It doesn't feel like a food product. It feels like it's made out of polyurethane, you know? It doesn't feel like it's biodegradable, you know?
Yeah, if you rolled up enough of those, you'd make skateboard wheels.
I can't even believe it. This is actually what it... Like, what is this even? It's like leathery almost. The texture of it, I can't believe there's no plastic or like, you know, some kind of non-renewable energy oil. It's like petroleum based.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You good? It's all good.
Why were you filming?
Yeah, it's okay though.
Long story short, I would never buy these. I would never eat these.
I'm an empathetic person, and I know that a lot of people like these Twizzlers. Because of that, I consider this generous. I'm giving these things a 3 out of 10, because personally, I think they taste like crap.
There you have it, legendary tactics. I'll be very active even when I'm geriatric. Big Wax, I'm coming at you with that laid back maneuvering. If you'd like to know about this pocket that we grooving in, I'm loving it, loving it, loving it.
You get one. What do you think?
These are so good.
Why is it good? I want you to explain to the camera what's good. We're starting your career as a YouTuber today.
Twizzlers are good!
Okay.
Like, sometimes it's just like hard to explain, like when you like a food. Like, you like hot sauce. Why do you like hot sauce? It burns your mouth and it's painful, okay?
Wow.
Fair take.
Look at him. Kids love them. I don't get it.
Can I have that? Thank you.
How many do you have in your mouth right now?
I don't know.
At least 15. Do you know the Heimlich maneuver? This kid's about to choke on Twizzlers.
You can't eat that many Twizzlers before dinner. No. Give Uncle Mike back those ones.
Funny shit. Today's snack was recommended by Travis Eddy. Let us know in the comments. What should we review next? In 1939, King George VI and Queen Elizabeth of England took a little trip to a nation known as Canada. In honor of their visit, Canadian whiskey company Crown Royal decided, let's start using purple bags to make our product look more regal. They've been doing it ever since. You know what else is in purple bags? Tuckies!
Snacks with Wax.
There's a lot of nostalgic foods here on Snacks with Wax, but these Tuckies, they didn't exist when I was a kid. I am too old for these to be nostalgic. Talkies? When I was a kid, a talkie was one of those newfangled motion pictures that had people speaking for real. If you fried these in a large round pan, they'd be walkie-talkies. If you made a walkie-talkie, you'd be well on your way to making a teriyaki talkie, which not only has rhyming, but it also has alliteration, and if you made that talkie light and fluffy, you could call it the teriyaki airy talkie, which is a spoonerism. Shout out Zach Sherwin. As the resident Spanish expert here on Snacks with Wax, I got a question for you. What's up with the song Taki Taki? Taki Taki, Taki Taki Rumba. What does it mean?
I think it's up to your own interpretation. The word taki is not a... Despite the fact that the subtitle, fuego, is a Spanish word, the word taki is not a Spanish word. Taki taki, I think, is basically... I've interpreted it as the sound that butt cheeks make when they clap together, or just sort of like partying, dancing.
It's funny you would say that because I didn't know what Taki Taki meant, but I had a strange feeling it had something to do with butts.
I like the packaging. I'm a fan.
I do too. It's in a nice purple bag.
Is that a lime on fire?
Yeah.
I like that.
Uh-huh. The lime is on fire. Your limes are en fuego. That's the Spanish Kings of Leon.
There you go. Los Reyes de León.
I do like the purple bag. Purple Bag sounds like a Cameron song. Purple Bag sounds like the title of a Cameron song. Mommy, I got a purple bag. I'm in a purple jag. Let's see if I can open a bag properly this week.
The real test. Wow. Wow.
I got an open bag. I got that open swag. Ooh.
Ooh la la.
Smell that. Tell me what it smells like.
Let me see. It smells like corn chips.
I thought it kind of smells like buffalo sauce, like buffalo wings.
Let me see. I can see that.
I'm so excited that I opened a bag properly. I want to end the episode right now. I wonder if they're hollow. Be a good way to quit smoking. Get some of these. You know what I mean? Little orange cylinders, you know? The shape reminds me of like an orange crayon. Or, you know, the fingers of Satan. Somebody told me they're called Takis because they're taquitos. I guess they're even smaller than taquitos, which I would think... Is that what they would say?
Taquititos, yeah.
Can you just say taquito, ito, like the way we go, like really, 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 really,
you can
really
just
small?
Continue. You could continue. It'd be funny if there was a grammatical rule that was like you can only do 34 itos. And now you have nothing left.
After 34 itos, it's smaller than one molecule. Instead of doing taquitito, they just took off the toe altogether. They basically just made like a frostbitten mountain climber and lost the toe. Were these actually formulated in a tow-away zone? Beep, beep, beep.
Dude, I'm already noticing your thumb before you even tried them. It's already completely red.
I didn't even eat any Takis yet. I'm already scarred for life. Like, it's gonna take weeks for this shit to be unread, I feel like. Dude, that lime flavor jumps out at the end and says, what's up? You're kind of tasting that kind of hot Cheeto-y flavor. Hot Cheeto. Hot Cheeto. What's up? I'm the lime. I couldn't describe it better than the picture already describes it. Imagine you're having a seance where you're burning these Takis, and these are actually apparitions of a lime that come up a little while later and give you like a nice hint of lime. You know what I mean?
Ghost of lime's past.
It's like a psychedelic experience. That's why they got this thing on there. You know what I mean? Okay, what's in here? We got red food coloring, cayenne pepper, and ayahuasca. I can tell you this by simply tasting this. This is not good for you. There is not one cell in your body that receives this and goes, oh, just what I need for growth and repair.
There's one you dropped on the ground, and I was even noticing how unnatural it, like there's nothing that's that color in nature.
There's some really harsh chemicals in this. You know what's dope about these things? If you don't have pepper spray, you can go into the eyes of an attacker. This red stuff can also be used to put down your drain and unclog your sink. The Venn diagram that is things in Tuckies and things in Drano has a huge middle section. While I know that this is bad for me, I do enjoy the spice of it, and I want to dig in and just get more and more. I know I could eat this whole bag and really love it.
Yeah?
I don't even want to touch the camera. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. He's got his crab shirt on.
I am from Maryland, so that's why I wear my crab shirt. So I'm gonna try this Taki. I'm gonna try to kind of minimally touch it so I don't get this shit all over my hands.
I'm really getting enjoyment out of you eating Takis today.
It's a very strong flavor. Like it really pops. Spicier than a hot Cheeto. I get that lime you were talking about, but I don't enjoy it per se. I can feel this causing permanent damage to my body.
There's this really adorable dog that's just like so much more interesting than whatever you're saying. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
My suggestion, which all the kids that love these would hate, would be, can you put like a fourth of the red shit on there, you know?
Really? Acme is the construction company name here? Who are they trying to keep off the sidewalk? Wile E. Coyote? Anyway, if you ask me in Spanish, hey, should I eat Takis? I'd say, si. If you ask me in English, what do you rate Takis? I would say, si, 7 out of 10. That's what I rate Takis. Takis were recommended by Jay Gotch. Let us know in the comments, what should we review next? Shaggy once said, "Shorty, you're my angel, you're my darling angel, closer than my peeps you are to me."
Snacks with Wax.
The grand old holiday of Easter's coming up, so we're talking peeps here on Snacks with Wax. This Walgreens parking lot is no longer just that. Now it's actually the site of a quasi-religious tradition that we all celebrate every year. Easter with bunnies and eggs. How does it make sense? Why does this magical bunny have eggs? Does he lay eggs? Does he steal eggs? Does he have an agreement with some weirdo farmer that gives him all these eggs? I don't know, but he sure puts them in one basket. I can't get past the fact that the bunny has eggs. Much less can I fathom the relationship between this magical bunny and an event that occurred 2,000 years ago involving a man who was also God, but he's also the son of God, and he was brutally executed by getting nailed to a cross, then 3 days later his body rose from the dead. That's what we're celebrating, but somehow the magic bunny and him intertwine via some type of egg scenario. I don't know, I can't explain it. Here's the baskets and the bunnies and the eggs over here. Here's the thing with God and the brutal execution over here. Where's the bridge? We don't have to talk about it. You have Google. How can we have Google and people still believe this shit? I'll tell you why. People believe anything. L. Ron Hubbard, Joe Smith, Jesus H. Christ. Donald Trump was able to tell everybody that the election was stolen without any evidence, and people believed it because people don't require any evidence. They believe anything.
You gotta have faith.
You gotta have faith. That's what everybody says. We love faith. You must have faith. We make ourselves believe in something because we need this thing called existence to have some type of meaning. Anything. We make sense out of nonsense because the truth is, the sad truth, that this actually means nothing. And if it does mean something, it's too complicated for us and it's way above our pay grade to possibly ever understand. It's too much for people to take. So we make up some bullshit and just go with it. So in a sense, you could say we are internally programmed to be really fucking gullible for our own good. Anyway, let's taste these marshmallow creatures. By the way, people think that peeps are some cute representation of animals. They're not just that. Vegans can't eat these. They contain gelatin, and gelatin contains pig feet, pig snouts, pig skin, and pig ligaments. Marshmallows contain pig. Hershey's chocolate contains milk, which is from cows, so your beloved s'mores contains more than you thought. So basically that apostrophe that's in s'more, that's supposed to represent the O-M-E in the word some, that O-M-E stands for oink, moo, and even bzzz for the honey that's in the graham crackers. You like that one until the even bzzz. Rule of comedy, the third one's supposed to be the funny one, not the, yeah, whatever.
Aww.
Look, there's Wax and Herbal T in peep form. Nice little identical twins just like us. And I'm gonna go the whole thing. Holy. Even for snacks with wax, that was very, very sweet. Damn. This isn't like white sugar you'd put in coffee, and it's also not confectionaire's powdered sugar. This is like fine sand sugar, you know what I mean? Like, not quite beach sand, but like if you took beach sand and cut each grain in half again, maybe even into quarters again, it's like quarter granulates of sand size sugar. Let me see if I can get the eyeball and see if it tastes any different. The eyeball has the consistency of a flax seed, but it's very much unlike a flax seed in terms of its nutritional value.
It's definitely not like a flax seed.
Same consistency, opposite nutritional value. Are these supposed to like be hatched out of Easter eggs? Is that why they're shaped like that? Like, are they like quasi-fetal?
Am I crazy, or has the actual shaping gotten worse over the years?
Well, I think that they made it look like a slipper. Like it looked like you could put like a little baby
slipper.
foot in there. It's bad enough that you eat Peeps at Easter time. If you eat Peeps not at Easter time, you are fucking crazy. You should be a registered sex offender, on the no-fly list, and not able to own a firearm. Do you want to try one?
I would love to try Peep. All right, I'm just gonna do the whole sushi roll style. Just an overload of sugar, just straight up.
What would your kids think of these?
They would absolutely adore them. They would love it. They could eat one of these a piece in no time, and they have no. There's no limit to how many of these they could eat. They would eat these until their belly just exploded. It looks like a flotation device, you know, like a little flotation device. It could float. I don't know.
I think that they were remade to look like a rubber ducky from a bathtub.
If you look close, the way the beak is, it looks a little creepy. Like they
Yeah.
would peck the shit out of you.
A little satanic, honestly.
Yeah.
A little Tim Burton, huh?
It is a little bit.
The Nightmare Before Easter, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You gonna eat all quad of those?
I don't
I
think
dare
I
you
could
to eat all quad.
all quad.
Yeah, all quad, one bite.
All right.
Let's see it. Ah! It looks like you're eating a dish towel. Oh, wow. Damn.
I can't do it.
Ooh, wow.
It's too much. I can't do it.
Let me see that leftovers right there.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let me see. Wow.
It looked like
It looks like scrambled eggs.
Looks like semi-melted butter.
It really looks like scrambled eggs mixed with a Twinkie and butter. Welp, that was festive. I give Peeps a 6 out of 10. Happy Easter, and may God have mercy on your soul. Peeps were recommended by Johnny Gailey. Let us know in the comments. What should we review next? In 1908, the Boy Scouts came up with their motto, be prepared. In some other year, the Girl Scouts came up with their motto, which was, preparation be damned, let's sell a ton of cookies. And it worked well, because I bought a lot of these. Samoas. Snacks with wax. We didn't get footage this week of us going to buy these cookies because we didn't go to buy these. You don't go buy Girl Scout cookies. You go to get like mustard or a last minute birthday card and somebody just appears selling Samoas out of nowhere.
It's actually the universe selects you as the recipient of Samoas.
Exactly. Samoas can only be found serendipitously. As soon as you seek them, they're nowhere to be found. Remember, Girl Scouts are just kids, so it's in their nature that when you seek them, they hide. So if you do stumble upon these entrepreneurial campers when you're out and about, you better buy multiple boxes while you can. You know when you're on a road trip and there's like a gas station, but you're in the middle of nowhere? Mm-hmm. You better fill up, because you don't know when the next one's gonna occur.
Next rest stop, 50 miles. It's like next Girl Scout entrepreneurial group of campers. Who knows? Who knows?
50 million light years. Girl Scout cookies are like soulmates. You only find them when you stop looking. And these little youthful scouts at their pop-up shops, by the way, Girl Scouts invented the pop-up shop and don't get enough credit for it. Anyway, these scouts at their shops, they don't just have Samoas, they have other cookies as well, but the other Girl Scout cookies besides Samoas, they might as well be called who, what, where, and why. The fact that you can't get these at a store makes them more special because not only are they hard to get and rare, but you're helping a good cause when you buy a box. Speaking of this good cause, Aren't they freaking loaded by now? They've been selling cookies for decades with volunteers as their labor force. Did you know the 3 richest people in the world right now, according to Forbes magazine, are Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and the CEO of the Girl Scouts, who's an 11-year-old girl named Cindy Lou? Hello.
Why don't the Girl Scouts sell Girl Scout cookies in stores? You know, and then they don't have.
I'll tell you why the Girl Scouts don't sell cookies in stores. It's the same reason that the Catholic Church doesn't put their religion in stores. They want to be tax exempt. Look at that.
The Girl Scouts, right?
Look at it. They're kind of a religion. They're like, we sell cookies and make all the profit. We sell cookies and... They don't look that different than the Hitler girls or whatever. They sell all these cookies and they just buy those little outfits and occasionally go to a camp. Camping's not expensive. You just get a tent and go outside. Their camps should be at like 5-star hotels with the amount of cookies they be selling. You know what I mean? It's probably like Scientology. You know, when you reach like the stage 20 of Scientology, you find out that it's all from aliens and whatnot. When you reach stage 20 of Girl Scouts, they tell you like, when you reach stage 20, you just get to keep all the cookie money. You're an adult now and you can fly in the jet. They write a mass email to the rest of the Scouts every month. They're like, sorry, we couldn't get new sleeping bags this time. Didn't sell enough Samoas, I guess. I freaking love these things. Remember when Klondike Bar had that campaign, what would you do for a Klondike bar? Well, for one of these, I would melt 1,000 Klondike bars. For one Samoa, I would back a dump truck full of fresh Klondike bars into an active volcano on the island of Samoa, which is a volcanic island, so that metaphor makes sense, and hit the dump button. I would choose this over any other cookie, period. If you think otherwise, I dare you to post a comment with a better cookie than this, and if you say sugar cookie, you also order chicken fingers at the finest steakhouse in town.
If you say oatmeal raisin, just go jump off a bridge.
If you say oatmeal raisin, you go to a sushi restaurant and say, can I just eat the napkin? I'm a songwriter, and I wish that I could write one song in my lifetime that's as good as these cookies, but the only way I could have done that is if I would go back in time and write Outstanding by the Gap Band, because it's the only song that's as good as Samoa's, and it also describes them perfectly. Go girls! Oh my god.
Wow.
I already know what they taste like.
There's no mystery whatsoever.
Look at it. Look at the beauty of it. Look at the back. It's so imperfect, but perfect. You can't mold this. This is like erosion.
These are snowflakes.
Yeah.
Everyone is different.
It's caramel, chocolate, cookie, crispy, crunchy, chewy, coconut. That's 7 things that start with a C, and that alliteration is just some side shit. They're like, yeah, we also alliterate. You know what I mean? It's 7 things that start with a C because you are sailing the 7 seas of pleasure when you eat one of these. The birds and the very slight breeze. Everything became perfect when I ate it. Did you notice that? The sun is going down, the birds distantly chirping, not in our faces much anymore. I changed the earth. I changed the universe when I ate this thing. This is a totally different presentation of coconut. This is the ultimate coconut makeover. This is like the Instagram made up sexy outfit thirst trap version of the coconut. You see the girl beforehand and then you see her when she's on Instagram, you're like, that's the same person? Damn, I know she ain't supposed to look like that, but I see why the plastic surgeon gets paid the big bucks. That's this version of coconut. Coconut in its raw form, like coconut water, is healthy. You know what I mean? Hangover cure. This is the opposite of that. Speaking of which, how versatile is the coconut? Coconut is the ultimate version of the lady in the street, but a freak in the bed. You know what I'm saying? It does it all. It's like a fruit, a nut, a seed. It makes milk. It creates meat. It's in every food group. You take a sip of the refreshing coconut water, you take a bite out of this decadent thing, then coconut looks at you and goes, you think that's all I've got? Throws you a bowl of Tom Kha soup and says, hey, suck on that. The caramel hits you, and the chewiness with the caramel kind of starts first, and then the crunchiness of the cookie adds to the chewiness, but also creates crunchiness. You know what I mean?
The texture of a
it almost becomes a milkshake in some kind of weird way, like a coconutty milkshake. The cookie itself is really delicious, kind of like a powdery biscuit cookie or whatever, but it's surrounded by crusty coconut, which also traps. The crusty coconut traps the layer of caramel above the crummy cookie. There really is a lot of C's involved in this. And then the chocolate layer, which like we said, just kind of does what it wants, you know? I've never had anything like it. And I never will have anything like it.
I'm being dead serious when I tell you that my mouth is watering because I'm thinking about eating.
You want one?
Yes.
Let them tease you.
Is it as good as you thought? Better. I could eat a whole one of these, a whole box.
I've never seen a Girl Scout not selling cookies.
No, what else do they do? They're scouting, right? It's just scouting for locations of cookie sales. Scouting out the local Trader Joe's.
You think the Girl Scouts are scouting like scouts, like they're out there camping and scouting for a campsite and making sure there's no rattlesnakes and making sure there's no potential for bears? They're scouting out a location for them to camp, but they're not doing that. They're only scouting out a place where there's a lot of foot traffic that has potential buyers of cookies. I bet you if you looked up the top 20 American female CEOs, 19 of them are ex-Girl Scouts.
What if you found the top 20 female drug dealers? It would probably also apply.
They probably first started selling the Coke inside the Samoa boxes. Get a little glue it back up, tape it back up, open it up there. More like Sinaloas. What can I say about Samoas that hasn't been said by the greatest artists, scholars, scientists, and athletes of our generation? They're top-notch, fantastic, awesome, amazing, and spectacular, all wrapped into one great little cookie that's shaped like this. And I'm going to put it in my mouth and say, I give these a 20 out of 10. In 2019, the Sacramento River Cats won the Minor League Baseball Championship. Newsflash, nobody gives a flying crap. We only care about the big leagues. I agree. That's why today, we're talking about Big League Chew.
Snacks with Wax.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, here we have a satchel, a sack, a bag of Big League Chew.
A pouch is the word I would have used, yeah.
Didn't we have this discussion in the Dunkaroos episode?
That's right.
You think everything's a pouch. In this case, you're right. If you saw some kind of animal and it had a pouch like this, it would be a marsupial, and that marsupial would be marsupially delicious because it'd be full of shredded bubble gum that is Big League Chew. Some of you guys are probably thinking like, hey Wax, this isn't really a snack. It's not something you actually ingest. The only thing you ingest when you eat bubble gum is your own gum-flavored saliva. Your gum is like Kool-Aid and your own saliva is like the water. You know what I mean? Bubble gum is one of those many things that we deal with regularly, but we have no idea what it is. At least I don't. When I say we, I mean me. And you know what? I'm not gonna look it up either. I assume to make bubble gum, you just make Starburst and add rubber. The obvious thing about this, it's modeled after chewing tobacco. Baseball players chew tobacco. Now kids can be just like their favorite players and chew gum since they can't chew tobacco yet, but obviously inevitably will because of the influence this thing has. Just like candy cigarettes, bubble gum and tobacco have a very symbiotic relationship. Like kids that start chewing gum, they kind of have more chance of smoking cigarettes, but once they get on the cigarettes, they can actually get back on the gum to take them off the cigarettes. You know what I mean?
Then with nicotine gum, they brought the two completely into harmony.
It's kind of a match made in heaven, the nicotine gum. Have you ever had nicotine gum, though?
I never have.
It's not like gum. Nicotine gum is actually more like chewing tobacco. You're not supposed to chew it. You just put it in the side of your
Oh, no, I didn't know.
Kind of gets you a little lightheaded, nicotine gum.
Why don't we go review that?
I don't know. Let's get a bunch of it and get fucked up. Bubble gum is low-key a gateway drug. First you're chewing gum, then you're chewing tobacco, then you're chewing coca leaves, then you're sniffing coke. Now you're doing heroin, now you're on the streets, you have no teeth, and let's face it, you're a prostitute. Have you seen Bazooka Joe lately? He's not looking so hot. There's two kinds of gum, chewing and bubble. But the thing is, with chewing gum, you can still blow bubbles, and bubble gum, you obviously chew it. It reminds me of a cop movie when they pair up two guys to be partner cops. One of them's the funny guy, one of them's the serious ass-kicking guy. But you know what? The funny guy can still kick ass. He gets in a couple karate chops, and the serious ass-kicking guy, he's got a couple one-liners that give major laughs to the viewers at home. I don't know much about the origin of gum or how it's made, but I do know that you're not allowed to chew it in school. But everybody tried to anyway. Remember in school, like you'd have gum in your mouth and you'd just be like this? And as soon as the teacher turned her back, you'd be like, Get as many rapid chews in as you possibly could. The average kid switches from chewing to bubble about a year into puberty because then it's a fresh breath thing. You know what I'm saying? If you got French kissing on the brain, you want to have wintergreen on the tongue. You don't want sour apple, you know what I mean? The middle ground though is Big Red. Big Red is the voice cracking of gum. You know what I'm saying? When your voice starts cracking and you don't want to go all the way from bubble to chewing yet, the bridge between it is Big Red, a little cinnamon, you know what I mean? Big Red, cool by the playground, but also cool by the lockers. Remember when kids would exchange gum via French kissing?
That's right.
Fucking
That's
disgusting.
That is gross.
Not in 2021.
No, sir.
COVID-19. Baseball is a very slow-moving game, so you can do anything while playing baseball. You can be out there doing your taxes, whatever, you know what I'm saying?
There's so many rituals in baseball. People just like kind of walking around, spitting, just whatever it is that they do.
You can't chew tobacco playing basketball. First of all, if you were spitting, it would feel more like you're playing hockey because the goddamn floor would be so slippery from all the spit.
Or if you were playing hockey, then you'd have these frozen brown.
Oh. The Zamboni guy would be like, I can't even fix this. Check this out. Peep the texture of this. Oh my God. It's like pulled pork. It's like a pink pulled pork. It also looks like troll hair. You know what it definitely looks like is meat. It looks like raw meat of some sort.
It looks like the, you know, the documentaries when you see what chicken nuggets are made out of and it's pink slime. That's what it looks like.
Oh. Damn, but it's actually not that at all. It's just gum, which, by the way, neither one I know what it is. There was one other time on Snacks with Wax when I was hit with immediate nostalgia like this, and that was when we did the Dunkaroos because it tasted like birthday cake, and it made me feel like it was my birthday. This, I mean, we're standing right next to a baseball field, but even if I close my eyes, it would take me back to the park of my youth. The smell of hot dogs, the smell of ketchup and mustard on those hot dogs, the sound of my parents cheering me on. Go, son, run, hit, catch, go, son. We love you and want to support you in what you do. By the way, Outta Here original, I dig. I like that slogan. Just for this guy's face and this slogan.
How much steroids is this guy on? Jesus.
He's not on steroids. What if there's steroids in here? Performance enhancing gum, PEG, PEG. PEG, you hit a home run. I fuck with this, dude. I super like this. I think that you should try this, dude.
All right.
I'm doing kind of a dramatic shot.
Eat the troll.
I'm closing my eyes. I can hear that baseball organ. The sound of Bob Euchre talking.
Big league chew in baseball. It's so good that if you chew it, you will come.
Very hard to talk and chew. I got nostalgic about when I was a kid getting a haircut and you'd get like a piece of double bubble with the haircut. Like if you like bubble gum, this is like straight up regular bubble gum. This is a good choice.
It's the bottom of the ninth. It's a full count. The bases are loaded. Wax and Herbal T are at bat. I don't know how two people are at bat, but it's baseball. Anything can happen. And we're about to give the rating to Big League Chew. And the rating is 8 out of 10.
Pop, pop, another bottle, another day. We ain't got no problems, we sent them all away. Feeling good, feeling great. We very well accomplished and we finna celebrate. Do you feel it? Do you feel the rush? Put your hands up if you feeling good as us.
Big League Chew is recommended by Weston Peters. Let us know in the comments. What should we review next? Ah, nature. It sure is beautiful. Speaking of nature, Nature Valley Oats and Honey Crunchy Granola Bars.
Snacks with Wax.
The only two people who would be on the credits in Snacks with Wax are me, Wax, and my brother, Herbal T. This week, Herbal T had an emergency. We were planning on doing an episode, He couldn't make it, so I gotta do it by myself. Some of you guys are like, Wax, just skip a week. We don't care. Well, I do care. It's called integrity. You do what you say you're gonna do. When Michelangelo wrote all his symphonies, people said they didn't care. When Albert Einstein sailed across America, people said they didn't care. When the Beatles first invented electricity, nobody gave a damn at first. But guess what? I do. Anyway, I'm doing this episode last minute, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna simulate the idea of getting a snack last minute. What shall we get? I don't know, we've only got a minute or two to make the decision while in the convenience store. Going to 7-Eleven to pick up a snack is like going on a safari in Tanzania, seeing them in their natural environment, seeing them where they thrive. Walked out of there with the breakfast of champions, y'all. 2 Nature Valley Oats and Honey Crunchy granola bars, and a high roller poker lottery ticket. Let's make today our lucky day. Snacks with Wax selfie edition. I'm over here by the ocean. Looks like I'm in some kind of weird rainforest space. We got this, the Nature Valley Crunchy Oats and Honey. A lot of you guys didn't know this. This is a military grade snack. It's made by General Mills. In case you don't remember, General Mills is from the American-Chinese War where he fought General So in the Battle of Chicken and Oats. Good marketing by General Mills. They give you 2 in each pack. Mine came pre-snapped in half for whatever reason. This is very dry. This is like a cereal packaged in bar form. I would actually like to have a cup of milk and dip it in like cookies. This should come with a cup of almond milk, whole milk, regular milk, coconut milk, oat milk. Oat milk would be good. Oat on oat, you know what I mean? There's something about oats and grains. Makes me think of the heartland of America. I hear John Cougar Mellencamp when I taste these things. I bet you John Mellencamp's actual middle name is something really embarrassing. So when he decided to be a rock and roll star, he had to go with Cougar to make it exciting. You can picture John Mellencamp crossing out not tiger, not cheetah, not lion, not panther Mellencamp, Cougar. John Cougar Mellencamp's career must predate the term cougar used for older women seeking younger men. Talking about John Cougar Mellencamp's middle name and its origin, that would be a fun conversation to have with my brother, but here by myself, eating this honey bar, it just seems sad. It seems like a lonely existence to ponder these meaningless, trivial things just sitting here on a cliff. I might as well jump off the goddamn cliff. I should have got a Cliff Bar. Yo, General Mills, new idea for the military. The jump off a cliff bar. It's like one of those suicide pills you give Navy SEALs for when they're behind enemy lines. You don't want them to give away any secrets because of the torture that the enemy gives them. It's whatever they put in that suicide pill in granola bar form so it doesn't look suspicious to the enemy. Honestly though, this thing's fantastic. If you like honey and oats and grain and sugar and just carbs to make your day get started on a good note, this is your snack. Speaking of having a good day, let's see if General Mills bestowed any luck upon us. To win this lottery ticket, you gotta beat the dealer, and guess what? The dealer got a goddamn straight. Speaking of damn straights, check out my brother's band. They're awesome. Well, I wasn't lucky enough to get any lottery winnings today, but I was lucky enough to get a nice little breakfast courtesy of Nature Valley and General Mills. I give this thing an 8 out of 10. Solid breakfast/snack.
Cause it ain't no thing without the element swing. The element swing, the element swing. It's the swing that my man Elements bring. Ayo, skilled heat getting spewed.
So I called Chris Martin, the lead singer of Coldplay, on the phone yesterday, and he was all yellow. Speaking of yellow things, look at this beautiful bag of Funyuns.
Snacks with Wax.
I want to start this episode out with a pep talk. Kids, if you have an idea, any idea, plan it, execute it, and make it happen. Some stoner that worked at Frito-Lay thought of this while playing hacky sack in the break room. He told it to his manager on a whim, and look at Funyuns now. I say that because I'm mildly surprised by Funyuns' popularity. Like onion flavored snack, you wouldn't think a lot of kids would be into that. A lot of kids don't like onion. It's a left field flavor success story. You know what I mean? A la mango habanero. I'm not even that concerned about the taste yet. Funyuns just has a vibe that I dig. Look at this thing. The name is a pun. I love puns. The only thing I love more than a pun is a pun with the word fun. There is no pun like a fun pun. Because a fun pun party don't stop. Speaking of onion puns, what about Punyuns? They could be talking onions that just say puns all day.
My father was red also. You know what they say? Like father, like sonnion.
Or better yet, they could be onions that rap like Big Pun. Big Punyuns.
Steady in the middle of Little Italy. Little did we know that we riddled to middleman who didn't do diddly.
I'm sick of Funyuns keeping all the glory and success for themselves. I want in on the action. I want to follow in the footsteps of Funyuns. I've got a couple pun snack ideas my damn self. My first idea I came up with pretzels. These are pretzels shaped like dogs and cats.
Solid.
Unfortunately, upon Google research, pretzels already exist, but they're actually pretzels made for dogs and cats to eat.
Oh, that's even better.
It's a great idea.
Even better.
Great idea.
You were thinking like animal crackers with pretzels, sort of with dogs and cats. Oh, okay.
Let's make animal crackers that are crackers for animals to eat. They're shaped like different types of people.
Yo.
Idea number 2. You've heard of the saltine cracker. How about the insult-ine cracker? Saltine crackers with text on each cracker that say things like, eat me, or don't eat me, you're fat already. Or how about you get a better snack, you uncreative, bland bastard? And finally, idea number 3 that I think we should actually roll with, potato chips called Potato-totally Rad. These are potato chips for extreme athletes, most notably skateboarders. You've heard of rap snacks. Each rapper has their own flavor of snack. Each pro skater has their own flavor of Potato-totally Rad chips. Hi, I'm Bucky Lassick for Potato-totally Rad. Hi, I'm Tony Hawk and I skate for Potato-totally Rad. My flavor is Gnarly Ranch. I love eating them when I do my aerials and burials.
What's up, everybody?
I'm Chris Jocelyn.
And I'm Eric Costin.
And we skate for Potato-totally Rad. And our flavor is Barbecue! Logo is kind of fire, the font. And of course they have the long Y.
It looks like a monkey tail.
By the way, a long Y was also the response of most of my fan base when I said I was going to do a weekly snack review series. Do you know why they say onion flavored rings?
Could it taste like onions?
Because they're not onion rings. They're corn rings with onion powder on them.
I would have thought there was some kind of onion in there, like an onion ring.
They were going to call them cornyons, but that name was already taken.
By what?
The things on your feet that are an awful combination of corns and bunions. Cornyons.
I don't even know what corns and bunions are.
Imagine combining them.
Oh.
That's like a port, which is a pimple and a wart.
A podiatrist nightmare.
How fun are these really? Like, what else can you do besides eat them for fun? Ring toss.
2 points.
Fashionable jewelry. Or even a substitute for poker chips. Funyuns are worth 10, Doritos are worth 5. When I'm on a first date type of situation and the girl goes, so, what do you do for fun? I go... But let's take a look at these things. These are an original chip. Would you call these a chip?
A ring.
A ring. You know what it looks like?
I know what it looks like.
What were you going to say?
Calamari.
I was going to say calamari too. Speaking of pun food ideas, how about this? Low-cal amari. You know what I'm saying? Want to have calamari without all the guilt? We found the skinniest squids in the fucking ocean. And we've done enough yapping. Let's taste some Funyuns. Off top, I love the texture.
I can hear the crispiness from here. It sounds nice and crunchy.
Oh my god. The texture, think of a cheese puff and then think of a Cheeto. Here's a puff, here's a toe, here's a Funyun. Like as far as like it's not as soft and fluffy as a cheese puff, but it's not as hard and crunchy as a Cheeto. This is the mama bear or whatever. Remember like the
like Goldilocks.
Yeah, this is the baby
just
bear.
Right. But this one's just right.
Daddy bear's bed was too hard. Mama bear's bed was too soft. Funyuns were just the right consistency for Goldilocks to eat. Harkening back to the Tuckies episode when you said they should put less of the flavoring on it, in this case they put actually just the right amount. Like for a kid, if there was too much onion, I don't know if they would like it. They like put enough onion to make you think it's a Funyun.
Why do you eat them like a chipmunk?
Chipmunk?
You put them in your mouth and you go...
It's called, because I have to use all my taste buds, all my sensory nodes that are in my mouth area. It's professional food reviewer stuff that you probably wouldn't understand.
Yeah.
Did you go to school?
Mm-mm.
You didn't go to FRU? Food Reviewer University.
It's like a wine tasting situation where you have to use all the taste buds, get the tannins and all that shit.
I majored in fructose, sucrose, glucose, and rhyming. They already had me with the packaging, and now they've, you know, it's like a fish when he bites the bait. Like the bait, they got me with the bait, but you can imagine a fish being reeled up. He's like, this shit was good enough. If this is my last meal, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I dig it, man. I dig it. It really is fun. Look, it's got like a Venmo thing on it. What the hell is that? Pepcoin. I guess you can get money from Pepsi somehow for this.
So Pepsi owns Funyuns, and they probably own Frito-Lay or something.
They probably own
It's all
everything.
a big conglomerate.
Somewhere down the line, there was one fun man that invented these and sold his idea probably for $10,000 and thought he was rich. You know what I'm saying? It's just like the guy who invented the blues and the Rolling Stones or Pepsi. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Anyway, you want to try these?
Sure.
I'm gonna go with more puffs than toes as far as the Cheeto similarity. They have less resistance than you implied.
What do you think it tastes like?
Salt and corn. To me, this tastes like a Frito. It's like a cheese puff and a Frito mixed.
It does taste like a Frito with a tiny bit of onion.
I could eat this. I could definitely eat this.
I mean, you're eating it currently.
Mm-hmm. It'd go great with like a cold beer or something like that.
Man, you ain't never lied about that, man.
Long story short, I like them.
Well. Another episode of Snacks with Wax completed. I give Funyuns a 9 out of 10. 6 for the bag and 3 for the flavor.
No smoking in the house. No smoking in the house. There's no smoking in the house. So would you please put it out? Check it out, yo.
Today's snack was suggested by Sean Roberts. Tell us in the comments, what should we review next? In September of 1961, the premiere of Disney's Wonderful World of Color persuaded American consumers to go out and buy color televisions. Over the next few decades, the black and white relics of our forefathers would be phased out almost completely. But you know what? Some things are still better in black and white, such as zebra cakes.
Good, you guys look the same.
Snacks with Wax.
The zoo, what a wonderful place. Hey Chris, what's black and white and red all over?
Newspaper.
That works too, but I was gonna say an angel food zebra cake. I also would have accepted a penguin drowning in its own blood. As far as taxonomy, for the zebra, the family is equestrian, genus is horses, and the subgenus is zebra. For the zebra cake, the family is cake, genus is snack cake, subgenus is Little Debbie snack case, and the species is zebra cake. There could be a subspecies if the zebra cake has different flavors. You would think that zebra cakes had the whole snacks that start with Z market cornered, but no. There's a snack called Zingers made by Hostess that's very comparable to zebra cakes. Which brings me to my next point, Little Debbie versus Hostess. It's like the Hatfields and McCoys of the snack cake world. The cakes may be sweet, but the rivalry is downright bitter. Little Debbie and Hostess are like those competitors that make the same thing. In fact, they almost make the exact same thing. It's like Coke and 7-Up versus Pepsi and Sprite. I got that backwards, but you know what I'm saying. One of them makes ho-hos, the other one makes Swiss cake rolls. It's kind of like Bad Boy versus Death Row back in the day. You know, they kind of made similar products but hated each other a lot. I would say Biggie is like a Twinkie and Tupac is like a Star Crunch, you know? I like both of them. I don't see why we have to argue. And Snoop was the Cosmic Brownie. Little Debbie's eyes look a little different on this one. By the way, congratulations to Little Debbie for being the only old school food mascot without horrible racist origins. But there's still time. I'm sure it'll be revealed soon that the Nazi regime was funded by Nutty Buddy profits. Little Debbie is like if Little Orphan Annie not only had parents, but had billionaire entrepreneurial wizard parents that left her with a bunch of money. I bet when Little Debbie just became Debbie when she was an adult, she had tons of money and no responsibilities, became a big partier, drug addict, alcoholic, and one day recently she was found wandering destitute on the streets of Reno. And she had a box. She was like, "Look, I'm the girl from the box. I'm the girl." Then she was wearing the hat and a tattered version of the little plaid dress, and nobody believed her. Forget the cakes, let's talk zebras, the animals. These things are not exactly chameleons, are they? They were like, how can we be the opposite of camouflage in any environment other than Foot Locker? You know what I'm saying? I'm saying they kind of look like referees is what I'm saying. Matter of fact, I think that the referee in polo should ride a zebra. Tell me that doesn't make you think about like school lunch, like on a good day. You know what I'm saying? If you were a really good kid, your parents would put some shit like this in your lunch, you know? One special thing about zebras is that all their stripes are different. I bet zebra cakes from the factory is the opposite of that. There are a lot of similarities with the stripe in the zebra cakes.
You don't think they were hand drawn?
I don't know, there's probably enough inconsistencies to make them snowflake-esque, you know what I'm saying? The bottom is like just enough, you know, that bottom is like when you put like half a coat of paint on the wall and you can still see the drywall. There was a big decision at the Little Debbie headquarters. Should we put 2 coats on the bottom or just 1? They're like, we need the money. We need to save it this year.
Nobody's gonna see the bottom.
Debbie just bought a yacht. How are we gonna pay for all the staff?
Debbie's in rehab. We need to pay the bills.
Okay, so they skimped on the paint on the bottom, but on the top, they did not. And
what's up with the sides, though?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many? It's a 6. What's a sextagon?
It's hexagonal? It's a hexagon.
Hexagon is 6 sides, is what you're telling me. Not a
Yes, a hexagon.
Sorry, fucking geometric wizard. Next time I eat a brownie, I'll make sure to clarify that it's a rhombus. All right, let's eat this thing. The bite factor, what do you call that when you eat a food? Like when you bit it, it felt good. It felt like you were getting a massage inside your gums.
Mouthfeel? Is that a thing? Mouthfeel? I think that's I don't know. I thought I've heard that said on the Food Network. It's got a great mouthfeel.
The mouthfeel, which is definitely a professional term that people use, was really good. It's like a fluffy pillow inside your mouth. Oh. Don't touch it too much with your tongue. It's a little bit sexual. I got to admit, when you touch it with your tongue and mouth, it's like it kind of takes you into the bedroom a little bit. You know what I mean? I can't explain it.
It's a little bit of an aphrodisiac or what?
It's a zebradisiac.
It's an afrozebriac.
This is a food product where the sum of all the parts is much better than the individual parts. The cream's okay, the cake's okay, the outside frosting's okay, but when you put them all together, take this light post, for example. Without the post, the light would be on the ground. Without the light, the post would be lightless and would have no way of guiding everybody around. It takes all the individual pieces of that light post, which aren't really that exceptional by themselves, but together, they're everything. That's why we're taking it over here. There's like that kind of cake that's like homemade or gourmet, and then there's the kind of cake that you buy at a store. This is the best kind of store-bought cake you could get. I don't mean store-bought in the bakery, I mean store-bought in 7-Eleven. Would you like to try one?
I would love to try a zebra cake. For me, you would eat this like the way you eat a Reese's, the way I would eat a Reese's peanut butter cup. You kind of go around the edges. Come.
Oh, okay.
Each side of the hexagon, so that gives you 6 little bites. Okay. A lot of the stuff we have on Snacks with Wax is so sugary I can't like really eat it. These I want to continue.
If you just eat that chocolate piece, is it chocolate?
Here, let's see if we can like, okay. Just get this little stripe.
Just the stripe.
No. To my palate, there's no chocolate whatsoever. It just tastes like the white part.
White and black are all the same, huh?
It's actually a deeper message. You know, this actually, like, following along with the lack of racism, these are actually a beautiful thing.
Well, did you know that when Michael Jackson wrote the lyric, "It don't matter if you're black or white," he actually was eating a zebra cake in the studio and like, what should we write a song about?
And he was going, white part, black part, it's all the same.
Zebra cakes are pretty good, but considering the arsenal of snacks that we're dealing with Little Debbie, they would never be my first choice. It reminds me of basketball. There's 5 starters. There's 5 starters, and then there's the 6th man. These are like the 6th man. Still pretty good, but not good enough to start. I give these things a 7 out of 10. Zebra cakes were recommended by The Real Exidious, The Lamac 8, and Sir Mooshalot. Let us know in the comments. What should we review next? In the summer of 1969, one of the most legendary music festivals ever took place in Woodstock, New York. In 1999, to celebrate its 30th anniversary, they had Woodstock 99 with such acts as Sheryl Crow, DMX, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Rage Against the Machine, and Korn. You know what else has corn? Corn nuts.
Snacks with Wax.
It's hard for me to say corn nuts without saying corn nuts. I don't know why. Why is that? You know those nuts like testicles that redneck dudes put on the back of their trucks? I feel like those would be called corn nuts. Those things always were confusing to me. Girl, you see those nuts on my truck? That signifies my truck is a man. She pretty, ain't she? Meanwhile, the truck's like, I identify as a truck. I don't reproduce. I don't feel attraction. I don't have a gender. I don't even speak, except for in this current hypothetical example. These things are not nuts. This is corn that takes on the attributes of a nut, so it calls itself nuts. So for all you guys out there hearing that, finding out it's not a nut, and now you want to sue Kraft Foods for false advertising, put your picket signs away and delete your email you're about to send your lawyer, because guess what? Chocolate bunnies aren't real bunnies either. Almond milk isn't milk. It's a milk-like substance made of almonds. Candy corn is not corn. It's a corn-shaped concoction composed of candy. And lastly, crunch berries are not berries. They are a berry-shaped morsel made solely of crunch. Now don't get that confused with foods where the first word is what they do, such as snap peas, pop rocks, or of course, dingleberries. Which of course are berries that dingle. We only know what dingling is because we know what berries do. They dingle from trees or whatever, from their little stems, you know what I mean? They dingle.
I always thought that dingle was just like a synonym for poop.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought like dingled from your hairs, you know? Let's talk about nuts. Nuts can mean so many different things. It is a verb, noun, and adjective for crazy people. Look at that nut. He's nuts, and he's going nuts. There's also nuts from the construction term, like nuts and bolts. Did you know that's where donuts came from? They look like little nuts, like from nuts and bolts.
No, is that true?
Yeah, so donut holes should actually be called dough bolts, by the way.
They should also be shaped like more angled, like hexagonal.
Yeah, that's true. They should be hexagonal. Nuts is a noun for testicles, as well as a verb that pertains to your testicles. Nuts is the best hand in poker, and it's also an exclamation for, oh man, too bad. Nuts! I bet you all these different meanings for nuts is where George Washington Carver got his inspiration for all his different inventions. Nuts is also another word for enthusiasts. So corn nuts could be people who are nuts about corn. Just like we say gun nuts, or we say George Washington Carver, he's a real nut. With a logo and font this tight, they need to step up their merchandising game. I've never seen somebody wearing a Corn Nuts t-shirt. They need to take a lesson from NASA. Have you noticed that NASA is a clothing brand now?
Everybody's got that.
Yeah. Some people say merchandising isn't rocket science. Might have to disagree. Original Corn Nuts crunchy corn kernels. Let's see what these things taste like. First of all, let's see my bag opening skills. Ooh. Like clockwork. You know why? Because what's that broken clock right twice a day? Twice a year I open a bag properly. Oh my God, they're actually like individual pieces of corn. When you taste a Dorito, it's a corn chip, right? But it feels kind of removed. It feels removed from the corn. This tastes exactly like corn and salt. But even, you know when you like grill a piece of corn on the cob and one of them on the outside gets all black and maybe even hard? This is very hard, like it's a little painful on your teeth. All people have teeth problems, pirates, meth users. I wouldn't recommend this. I'm thinking, I'm like, are these old?
Are you looking for a warning? I thought you were looking for a Surgeon General warning. May cause damage to molars.
You're supposed to boil them first?
Right, it's like eating raw rice.
Yeah, like raw pasta, whatever. Dude, these things are crunchy as fuck. Hey, it says crunchy corn kernels, man. I got a question for you. Why does one tiny piece of corn have the same title as a higher up in the military? Colonel? At least corn kernel's spelled correctly. The other one's spelled like colonel. That sounds like, hey, don't do the dishes, Colin will do it. New idea. I start my own KFC. It's called Kansas Flambéed Corn. And the mascot is Colonel Sanders, and it's like a little, hey Sarge, get down and give me 20. In terms of snacks, it's in the family of like sunflower seeds, just like some salty stuff that like if you were doing something like watching a game or watching a movie, it's something to do, you know? It's like, there's salt, you know, if you're drinking beer, this would be a good beer thing maybe. But
I was noticing when you said that the way it's packaged, this like shape of bag is somehow nuts. Sunflower seeds, they come in that shape, so you can like kind of stick a finger in and pull one out. I don't know what's up with that.
They are very nut-like. They're very nut-like in that way. Like, and they feel like that's... You wouldn't eat this in the situation where you eat chips. You'd eat this in the situation where you eat nuts. Whatever the fuck that means. You want to try one?
Yeah, I'll try one. Did you see the choking warning? Do not give product to children under 4. Very crunchy. Tastes like a tortilla chip, tastes like any corn chip. I mean, what do you want me to tell you? Tastes like a taquito, tastes like a Dorito, tastes like Fritos, you know? Any other type of Eatos. I'm not unfamiliar with corn nuts. I used to eat them all the time. I like ranch flavored, to be honest with you.
You know what they're good for, in terms of size and weight, is the old throw it in your mouth and catch it vibe. Wow.
Like that?
I mean, I don't know if my filming was up to par, but that was quite a catch. Try it again. 2 in a row?
2 for 2.
Confident
They are
Carl.
good for it. They're easy for it somehow.
Yeah.
The crunchiness is a little extreme for me, to be honest.
Extreme like too much or extreme like Tony Hawk?
Both.
If there was an extreme athlete that was sponsored by them, which one would it be?
I would give it to a sky surfer. They like jump out of the plane and they're doing their spins. And they have their partner that films them, and the partner is throwing corn nuts and he's catching it while he's doing his spin.
What can I say about corn nuts that hasn't been said by millions of Americans who just had sex with their significant other? Not that great. I give corn nuts a 6 out of 10.
What up, Dobbs? Hey, the Pokemon Master in this bitch. A break from the real shit we deal with. Yo, if you a lyric fan, I'm your spirit animal. My next mixtape will be accompanied by a hymnal.
Corn nuts were recommended by Neurotic Knight. Let us know in the comments. What should we review next? During the French Revolution, the weapon of choice for executing prisoners was the guillotine. Yep, they would chop your head off right at the old Necco. Speaking of Necco, Necco wafers.
Snacks with Wax.
For the first time ever on Snacks with Wax, I actually Wikipedia'd this thing and did research. These wafers were first produced in 1847 by the New England Confectionery Company, the same company that gave them their acronymic name. That's right, we do that too. We do all that historic shit, Food Network. Come holler at us. Fuck Giamatti De Laurenta or whatever her name is. Fuck Bobby Flay. If Bobby Flay wanna get it, Bobby Flay can get it. Let's get in the ring. Let's bake brisket. Let's bake brisket. These things are from 1847. They're 174 years old. To put that into perspective, remember your grandma's favorite candy, the Werther's Original? Those things are 100 years old, which means when those dropped, they were like fucking Tesla space age level technology compared to these ancient confections. People often talk about legacy. The guy who made the Necco wafers didn't put his actual name on this, like Werther did. You could argue that Werther did a better job leaving a legacy. If you care about that, they're both dead anyway, but you know what I'm saying. If you care about that, Werther, his great-grandchildren are like, yeah, this is my fucking candy. I'm Tim Werther. You know what I'm saying? This guy's like, the New England Confectionery Company. Why didn't you just call it Smith's Tarts? When I think of legacy, you know who I always think about?
Who's that?
John Hancock. Name one thing he did besides sign his name real big once. He probably was alive for 70 years. He spent a millisecond signing his name, and now that's what he's known for. He could never have guessed that that would be his legacy. Name a policy by John Hancock.
The policy that I know of is sign your name large.
Big signatures. Hello, America. I stand on a platform of large signatures. Font size, big. I have one policy and one policy only. Hand me any bill you want to hand me. I will sign it in a huge manner. I don't care what the policy is. I'll sign it. You need your insurance signed. I'll sign it. Tax forms, I'll sign it. I'm like the British and the colonials. I don't even care. If you wanted Necco wafers when they first came out, You would have to have a mail order catalog and order them. Then 2 years later, the Pony Express would show up with your Necco wafers. Unfortunately, your kids you ordered them for, they had already died of smallpox, and you were just happy that the Coca-Cola with the real cocaine arrived as well. A very popular method of transportation when these things were first out was this, the horse and buggy. Matter of fact, a horse and buggy driver who always had dust in his mouth all day, every day, just wanted to make his day more bearable, so he started eating sugar with it too. That's where he got the idea to make these fucking things. First of all, I just bought these. They're not even sealed. It looked like they rolled them like the way people roll up pennies, you know, just some amateur person rolled them. I think they went down to Cuba and got the worst cigar rollers. They were getting kicked out of Cuba because they couldn't roll cigars, and they picked them up at the Necco factory. You know what I'm saying? The original candy wafer. The only other time you ever hear wafer is like Nilla wafers and communion wafers, you know? This would be a great communion wafer if Jesus' body was made out of sugary chalk. But everybody knows that his body was made out of unseasoned styrofoam. It's in the Bible. Kids loved these so much when they first came out that a little girl in Massachusetts actually did recommend that they use these as a communion wafer. She was immediately burned at the stake. This is like candy cigarettes, but for a different addiction. It's candy methadone. It's a candy methadone wafer. This is what you take when you want to get off of candy heroin. Wafer sounds like a shoe. It sounds like a waterproof loafer, you know what I mean? If you had like a formal dinner at a swim-up bar, you'd have to put on your wafers first.
Well, you know, waders like fishermen wear. You know, when you want to wade in. And fish?
You have your waders and your wafers, and then you go, and then the waiters come and give you your wafers. Hopefully the service is good and you won't have to wait for too long to get it.
Why don't you give them a shot? I should have placed it onto your tongue.
Little Catholic reference. What's up, Catholics?
What's up, Catholics? Where my Catholics at?
Give me an A. Give me a Tholic.
Give me a no.
What an unexpected flavor. This is like spicy cinnamon. The white one is spicy cinnamon.
So they do have distinct flavors based on color.
Big time. Big time.
Okay.
This is the cracked one. This one looks like it has a fucking fossil in it. That was chocolate. Straight up chocolate flavor.
Wow, that's bold.
Dude, these are like the original Jelly Bellies. Like this is like, I thought this would just all taste like sugar or like Pez or whatever.
Yeah.
This is kind of crazy. It's kind of amazing.
What do you got here?
What's your prediction on the blue?
I mean, I would go raspberry, blue raz.
We're talking about 1847. They didn't have the icy machine. Going back to 1847 and selling somebody blue raspberry, they'd be like, blue raspberry? Raspberries are red. What are you talking about? What are you, from space? This shit is like sarsaparilla rhubarb or some kind of soda flavor that they'd have in a saloon. These things like give you chapped lips. That's how dry these things are. You could use this on a pool cue. You know what I'm saying? When movies first came out, they used this as makeup on set.
Now say here, sweetheart. I'll tell you one thing and I'll tell you another thing. No, I don't even think.
What occasion would you even eat these on? You know what I mean? Like,
I only could think of Halloween.
If you mix chalk with whatever you put into stuff to make it softer,
some kind of
what is that?
liquid.
Flour?
I don't know.
Rubber?
No, usually
bubble gum?
Old bubble gum.
Yeah, petrified bubble gum from a baseball card pack from the 1950s that had a Hank Aaron rookie card in it. Would have one totally exposed piece of pink bubble gum, and it would be just like this. It would crack like an old concrete piece, like an antique vase if you dropped it. The flavoring is really impressive, though. I think they were ahead of their time with that. You want to try one?
I'd love to.
You could always use these as currency in a, if there's a crisis.
That's the original Bitcoin.
The original Bitcoin. Bitcoin.
That's so stupid.
Necco to the moon. That's the chocolate. Okay. The chocolate one is like more time release. Like you don't even know it's chocolate till like 10 seconds after you eat it. Then it's like, it tastes like hot chocolate. When I was filming you, it had the most audible crunch of anything, even more than corn nuts, I'd say.
Damn.
Yo, this one? What is that flavor? This is like a spice cabinet. It tastes like cloves. Now I gotta taste the pink one.
Pepto-Bismol.
Exactly. These are like Tums. They should collab. It's still about the same like mass as a standard Tum, you know?
I never heard somebody say Tums in a singular form before.
A Tum. There's a pack of Tums. It's
Yeah, but you still be
Tum.
like, I want, let me get some Tums. Like Vicks,
That might be-
it almost sounds like Tum is like Vicks Vapo
Yeah,
Rub,
let me
like
get-
Tums. Let me
No,
get some
I think
Tums
that
formula.
might be my first time ever using it singularly as well. I'm not mad at it, to be honest with you. I keep eating them.
I was very surprised by Necco wafers today. I thought I was gonna hate these things, but you know what? With the texture, the flavor, the conversation, and quite frankly, the camaraderie, these things were really fun to eat. I give them an 8.5 out of 10.
I've been kicked and spit on. I seen whatever could go wrong. That's alright. I get up. Yes, I do. I push on.
Necco wafers were suggested by the Teteke. Let us know in the comments, what should we review next? In 1986, Run DMC released their classic album, Raisin Hell. In 1915, Sun MAID released their classic product, Raisins. Hell, let's talk about them.
Snacks with wax.
Raisins are just grapes without water. Dehydrated grapes. They feel at home in a granola bar or in a bag of trail mix. The only reason they get a bad rap is because somebody decided it was okay to give them out for Halloween, pitting them against candy. So as a kid, when you see people repeatedly put this into your trick-or-treat bag, you can't help but build up what's known as raisin resentment, sometimes shortened to resentment. But raisins never said they were candy. It's kind of like when an overbearing stage mom forces their child to audition for American Idol, and Simon Cowell's like, she's just not a good singer. And the kid's like, I never said I was a good singer. See, Mom? Even Simon says so. I'm not a good singer. I want to be a veterinarian. Anyway, after eating all your good candy, these would be at the bottom of the bag with the good and plenties. The type of candy you didn't eat till about November 15th. You ever notice that the bottom of the bag always had mad good and plenties in it? Yeah. Good and plenty should just be called plenty. I guess mediocre and abundant as fuck just doesn't have a ring to it. Yup, around November 15th or so, you're shoving these things into your cavity-infested post-Halloween mouth, trying to pretend they're as good as Twix. They're not. No kid has that good of an imagination. Even Raisinets, which are these covered in chocolate, are still a bottom of the bag Halloween candy. I mean, out of all the things you could cover in chocolate, you chose raisins? What, were artichoke hearts busy that day? At least use the sugar-coated ones from Raisin Bran. It's a beautiful girl. You don't see the bonnet too much anymore. Love the double entendre. She's a maid in the sun and the raisins are made by the sun. There's a big difference between a maid and a maiden. Ironically, a maid does not have it made. A maiden has a maid and has it made. A maiden looks at her maid and points to the bed and says, I want to have it made. The family that gave out sun-made raisins on Halloween was generally the oddball family on the block. You know what I'm saying? They may have a big turtle instead of a dog. The mom handmade the kids' toys out of wicker. The dad was some kind of cult leader and the kids couldn't get stuff from the ice cream man because it was against their religion. Sun-made raisins, let's eat them. See if I can...
The old classic box.
Remember how they stick in the box sometimes?
Yeah,
like, you know?
There's always a couple stuck on the bottom.
They're almost like little insects, you know what I mean? Look how different sizes and shapes.
They're not the most attractive snack.
No, but you know what? Some things aren't about looks. They're about taste, feel, and your other senses. Hearing, sight. Wait, did I say no? Not sight.
Touch.
Touch. These are better than I remember. Wow. Ingredients: raisins. Raisins are mechanically stemmed and may contain an occasional grape stem or wood piece.
You know they had to add that warning because someone died due to a wood piece.
Yeah, there was a crazy guy that worked at the Sun-Made factory that kept putting little wood pieces in there. You know, like when you always hear about the Halloween guy that put razor blades in the apples or whatever? These are mad sugary. I feel like if you ground up raisins into a powder, they'd be a good, like, you could use it in coffee. It'd be a good sugar substitute, you know what I mean? It'd be like the Splenda of the vine. When you think of raisins, you think of like them inside of a granola bar or in a cookie. So they're always accompanied by something that's much more hard, you know what I'm saying? But when they're by themselves, in the raw, they're quite freaking moist. Much softer and much more welcomed by my mouth for some reason. Like I said earlier, the stigma behind raisins is based on the fact that they have to compete with candy. When by themselves, I'd say they're quite delicious. You want one?
I would love one.
It's pretty good, man.
Really? You like the raisins?
Yeah, I love
the raisins, dude.
See those two up top?
Yeah.
Defying the laws of gravity. You gotta get all the way in there. That's why they make those little mini boxes, because this is like, you gotta have a pretty long finger to get all the way down there. You need those mini boxes so the little kids can get there.
Stop fingering the box.
Sun-made raisins. They surpass my expectations.
Nice. With a rhyme? The sun provides us all with life. And right now I feel like I have some of its rays inside my belly. I give sun-made raisins an 8 out of 10. I fuck with them. This week's snack was suggested by Wax and Herbal T to themselves. Feel free to leave a comment. What should we review next? The US government has checks and balances. Chex is part of a balanced breakfast. Coincidence? Absolutely not. Let's uncover the secrets of Chex Mix.
Snacks with Wax.
Chex was created by General Mills, and being the strict, disciplined man that general was, he created his cereal to look like a checkerboard military formation. They were created for the soldiers that lived in the trenches during World War I, and they were to be eaten plain and strictly for sustenance. In fact, one day in the trenches, the general received a telegram from the States telling him that some people back home had been eating the Chex with milk, and he was appalled. After many years at war, the general finally returned home, a shell of a man, missing several fingers and about 70% of his hearing. He finally walked in, he looked at his barely recognizable wife, and the first thing she has the nerve to say to him is, "I just love your cereal. You know what I did? I added pretzels to it and some other things, other little snacks that people already love. I made a little mix. It's such a hit at parties." At that moment, the general knew nothing would ever be the same. He fantasized about putting that rusty 38 special up to his forehead and pulling the trigger, but one thing stopped him, and you know what that was?
What's that?
He thought maybe the dame was onto something. And she was, because here we are, generations later, and Chex Mix is at every grocery store, gas station, and snack outlet from here to Nova Scotia. But sometimes the ghost of the general looks down and wonders, would my family be better off if I had never whipped up that godforsaken cereal? You see, occasionally the general glances down at Earth from purgatory and sees his great-grandchildren. Dylan Mills, Ava Mills, the whole lot of them. They've never worked a day in their lives, much less even come close to making the ultimate sacrifice for their country. They have all of their fingers and toes, and they travel in the kind of luxurious vehicles that were only hypothesized about in science fiction novels during the general's time on God's green earth. And instead of praising the wonders of the modern day private jet that they fly around the world in, they complain about how the decor needs to be updated. It's tacky, they lament, during the one moment of the day that they're not staring mindlessly at their phone. Their biggest worry in the world is what Snapchat filter to use to make their already flawless skin look even more pristine. During the war, the general's facial skin was at its best a home for lice, and at its worst, food for rats, or as they called them in the trenches, their roommates. Now you think about that the next time you eat some Chex Mix, you entitled fucks, and I include myself in that when I say entitled fucks. I don't know how to grow wheat, much less take wheat and turn it into this thing, this little perfect 3D miniature waffle sculpture. I mean, this thing looks like a freaking NFT. I've never slaughtered a pig, I've never milked a cow, I've never churned butter, I've never harvested grain, nothing. I have my little snack review show where I give my little snide remarks. It needs more barbecue sauce. Oh yeah, go into the woods with no help from anyone else and come back out in 3 days with barbecue sauce. Pretzels are so boring. Oh yeah, make a pretzel. Without going to the store, do you know what a pretzel actually is? We are standing on the knowledge of billions of brilliant people that came before us, and instead of thanking them, we ridicule their creations and say, they're just not good enough. On that note, let's eat this Chex Mix. Another cool font, and I like how they got the Chex as the dot on the eye. Doesn't it look like a little candle? And the eye is the flame. That insinuates that Chex is fire. I understand that traditional means like the original one or plain or whatever, but like, when have you ever eaten Chex Mix traditionally? You know, like there's cranberry sauce for Thanksgiving, eggs for Easter, and then every President's Day, as a tradition, we eat fucking Chex Mix. There's a lot of different flavors in here. You got your Rye Chip. Rye Chip sounds like the name of a country singer. What's up, y'all? My name is Rye Chip, and my new single's called Get Me the Hell Out of This Bag. This is a mini breadstick because they wanted to make something really different than pretzels. This is a square pretzel.
See, that takes it away from traditional to me.
Square pretzels aren't traditional to you? These aren't traditional either. These aren't pretzel shapes. The circular pretzels and square pretzels, as far as I can tell, do not have a taste differentiation. It's only a shape differentiation. The main flavors of this would be salt and butter. What does this look like?
A window. It'd be great for a window on a gingerbread house.
A window in a gingerbread house. I was thinking it looked like a little Foursquare cord. You remember Foursquare?
Of course.
I miss those kind of sports. Elementary school sports, Foursquare, dodgeball, tetherball. They should have an Olympics, an all elementary school Olympics. The only winners would be those really tall kids in class, like the one kid in 5th grade who's already 7 feet tall. All kids like that would win the tetherball gold medal, you know? All the kids who you couldn't see their face in the class photo, it just looked like a giraffe sticking up or whatever.
Have you even eaten a Chex yet?
Whoa! You forget, because of the accompaniment of the pretzels, the accompaniment of the rye chips, you forget you're eating cereal. And it shit tastes like cereal. Like as soon as you hit the cereal, you're like, salty cereal. They took away the milk, put in the salt, and they actually have 2 different kinds, like if you notice. Corn Chex and wheat Chex. That's wheat. If you took shredded wheat, unshredded it, hardened it, and then salted it.
They removed all frosting and replaced it with salt.
My most favorite thing in this snack is corn Chex. My least favorite thing, wheat Chex. Get rid of the wheat, make everything corn based. Like every other dumb snack food in America. The rye chip tasted a lot like the breadstick. Like I didn't get a lot of rye in it. It's like almost like a breadstick in a different form that they just put brown food coloring in. And if anybody ever had them Gardetto's joints, those are rye chips. You know, those are the best, but I'd rather just have the salty Chex. We don't need the mix. This ain't a DJ. You know what I'm saying? And this shit, Chex Mix reminds me of a DJ because they're taking stuff you already know and putting them together and saying that it's something new. You know what I mean? Which is why everybody thinks they can DJ. They think just because they match 2 songs, they can DJ. This is not to downplay DJs. This is saying that everybody thinks they can DJ, but not everybody's a great DJ. It's difficult to be a DJ. Just like it's difficult to think of Chex Mix, I guess. I fucking put Captain Crunch and popcorn in the same bag. Am I a genius too? I see your mouth is watering. Would you like some?
I would love to try some.
You see how one's got all the seasoning and one doesn't? It's not equally distributed, which I think is it checks the wrong boxes. That one piece of Chex had 20 times more salt than the last one I ate.
You're docking them points in terms of inconsistency as far as how much seasoning is on each check.
I mean, I'm picturing the factory, and there's like a big-ass barrel of Chex Mix, and all the seasoning settles to the bottom, and they don't bother to mix it up or anything. You know? You don't want to read the ingredient list on this shit.
Why is that?
Distilled monoglycerides, dextrose, trisodium phosphate, calcium carbonate, autolyzed yeast. You get all the way down to the bottom.
What's wrong with that? Those are all things I have in my cupboard.
Snacks with Wax is not about comparisons, but Gardetto's is far superior. I'm a little disappointed.
I do appreciate General Mills for making a party mix, but I prefer my parties to be exciting, not boring. I give Chex Mix a 5 out of 10.
I like fun to rock and roll. I like fun to rock and roll.
Chex Mix was recommended by Dip Dinger. Let us know in the comments. What should we review next? BTS may be topping the charts with their hit songs, but they aren't the only Korean snack making waves in America. Let's talk about High Thai honey butter chips.
Snacks with Wax.
Usually here on Snacks with Wax, we talk about foods that I'm familiar with based on my American upbringing. However, life is about expanding your horizons. widening your array of interests, adding more colors to the palette of your knowledge. Also, somebody suggested these in the comments. It is much easier to joke about the snacks we already know, though. It's kind of like the new a cappella style of battle rapping where you know everything about your opponent going in.
I know for a fact that you can't spit. You did poorly in college. I googled your transcripts.
I would never have you on my song. It'd be a bad feature. I just got off of a Zoom call with your mom and your 8th grade math teacher. She told me you got a D on the test in the 8th grade. I also know from your mom that you failed even when you tried to start a stand for lemonade. By the way, your mom works at the Olive Garden. She tried to charge me for breadsticks. I said, I beg your pardon. Whereas in this episode, we don't know anything about the snack. So we're pretty much just freestyling off the dome about whatever information we can grab on the spot.
You wearing Nike shoes and you're gonna lose.
Yo, your shirt is white. You ain't that tight. Hey, honey butter chips, I'm home. Honey butter chips sounds like a psychotic woman talking to her husband. These things are made by High Tie, which was also the nickname of my buddy Tyler in college. Hello! The yellow bag with the honey, it looks more like it would hold like Ricola cough drops. Looks more like a lozenge satchel than a bag of chips. Which, by the way, doesn't have the same ring to it. You've never heard somebody say, I'm all that in a satchel of lozenges. This looks like some shit Winnie the Pooh would eat. By the way, why did they call him the Pooh? Is it because he didn't wear pants and you just like saw his butthole and were like, hey, look, it's the Pooh. By the way, he's a bear. It shouldn't be weird that he's not wearing pants, but what makes it weird is that he is wearing a shirt. You can be fully nude as a bear, or you can be just pants, no shirt like Smokey the Bear. You can't be just shirt. That's creepy. Damn, Winnie, you losey for that one. Why does this jar of honey look like Sendog from Cypress Hill? See it? There was his hat, you don't see it? Which makes this bee be real. I want to build hives, build hives. Also, why is the bee like directing the honey like a dude that operates a backhoe? You know what I mean? Yeah, drop the honey right down on your chip. This thing right here, I've never seen one of those utensils in real life. Like, you can't buy that at a store, this thing that's used to dip and apply honey. It can only be whittled by an Amish man in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Unless you're a rapper from the 90s, it's quite hard to acquire a honey dip. 100% pure potato. You can tell by the stamp. Each bag is officially notarized by the Korean Board of Potato Purity, which is a subcommittee of the Korean Vegetable Department. I don't know. French gourmet butter. I didn't even know that was a thing. Is that like an official thing? People know about that? French gourmet butter? Comes from French gourmet cows that stand out in the pasture with a cigarette going, meh. A lot of people don't know this, but that's how Mario Lemieux got his name. He was from an Italian family that immigrated to France, and he was a chubby kid, and all the fucking French kids would point at him and go, oh, look, it's Mario Lemieux. Time to eat some honey butter chips. Very puffy bag, you know what I'm saying? Puff baggy. Oh. Damn, they got a lot of strong bags in Korea. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Now, I will say, there's a lot of empty. From here, I can't even see the chips.
Nah, but it's actually not that bad. This is about the standard amount of empty space per bag, I'd say. Like other chips, some of them might have a curly shape, where some of them might be a little bit more straight laced, but they all have their various, different shapes. They look like different countries of the world, you know what I mean? Just like people, just like animals, they all have their different shapes and sizes. This looks like a good one to start off with. So buttery. It's more buttery than any popcorn. It's more buttery than any microwave popcorn. You know that like fake butter taste that microwave popcorn has? This actually tastes like real butter. You know what? It tastes like French gourmet butter. It tastes like a buttermilk biscuit. It tastes like when you make a grilled cheese and you put all that butter on the fucking thing and then put the bread on there. It tastes like when you're making eggs and you put the butter on the thing. It tastes like anything that has a ton of butter in it. That said, I am a butter fan. You've heard of the butter face? I'm a butter fan. I'm a butter face. Dude, I would recommend this. You know what it tastes like? It tastes like a buttered English muffin. I think it's a lot like an English muffin because the hint of sweet honey actually tastes like something you would put on an English muffin as well.
Maybe a little bit of honey jam or just honey.
The joints are breakfasty, dude. It's a very breakfasty flavor, you know what I mean? It's a morning potato chip. Name another morning potato chip.
Couldn't.
I don't know, maybe that's common in Korea, but here in the States, that market has not been covered yet. We eat hash browns, no? Home fries. Look at all these crumbs I'm getting all over myself. Jesus. Maybe that's why you don't eat it for breakfast. You don't want a crummy food for breakfast because then all day you got chip crumbs all over your crotch and shirt. You know? Maybe with the home fries with the fork, you're less likely to spill it on your work clothes. You know what I mean? You can't have a chip in the morning. A chip's for like, you're at lunch and you're like, I don't give a shit about the rest of the day. Put it out there. Put it out there. It's lunchtime. You know what I mean? I do like the texture. The texture is very Uts-like.
They seem light.
I'm fucking with them. It may be from South Korea, but it tastes like South Carolina. You know what I mean? Very southern, very comforting, and I'm very comfortable eating it. Yeah. Would you like some?
It tastes a little chemically to me. After my second one, I'm starting to like it more and more, and I think I'm starting to crave it. And in fact, I think the chemicals might be addictive and have addictive properties. What I don't understand is all this, like, you know, 100% potato and butter and honey, and then it doesn't look like that by the ingredients.
Maybe in Korea they have different false advertising laws and they can just say shit like that whenever they want. Maybe the Korean board on potato purity isn't so pure themselves.
Maybe they take a little, you know, a little bribery. My taste buds are probably just accustomed to it, but I would rather have like sour cream and onion, maybe even salt and vinegar or something like that. They're not bad though.
Speaking of BTS, their two huge hits are called Dynamite and Butter. And I would say that this butter is relatively dynamite in itself. I give these things an 8.5 out of 10.
I'll give you something to talk about, go to a short pier and take a long walk about. You ain't heard shit like my sound yet. In fact, it's more rare than a dry towelette with the numbing effect of a cortisone shot and that feeling of freedom that made the cordless phone hot.
Today's snack was recommended by Jacob Bai. Let us know in the comments, what should we review next? In 1876, the legend Alexander Graham Bell invented the unmistakable, unforgettable invention that is that thing that you talk on, you know, because like, you have conversations with, you call your friends, dial them up, hello, and then he's talking, you talk.
One person's on the other end, you're on one end.
Yeah. Who's a what's it? It's, what's her name? It's, whatchamacallit?
Snacks with Wax.
A whatchamacallit is a contraption. You know, a doohickey, a gizmo, possibly even a gadget. But it also more commonly means you can't think of the name of the thing. Like a thesaurus would say, what's his face? What's it called? Or fucking. There's millions of definitions for the word fucking, but that may be my favorite. Word you repeat while attempting to think of a fact that is on the tip of your tongue. Fucking. Turns out they actually have created spin-off candy bars called the Thingamajig and the Who's a What's It. Both words that sound like they have racist origins. Either way, these spin-offs are not very successful. They aren't like the show Frasier. They're more like when Cheers tried to do a spin-off about Cliff, the alcoholic post office worker. Let's just say he shot up the mail sorting facility in the pilot episode. It didn't make it to primetime. Anyway, these are manufactured in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Hershey, Pennsylvania is like a cross between the North Pole where the elves make toys and Willy Wonka's factory where the Oompa Loompas make chocolate. Except in this case, instead of some mythical asshole exploiting short people for free labor, it's a modern corporation exploiting rural Pennsylvanians, paying them just enough to cover rent and opiates. Whatchamacallit is also Hershey, Pennsylvania street slang for hydrocodone. Hershey, Pennsylvania is also kind of an Amish town, so whatchamacallit is also street slang for electric light bulb. I ain't talking bad about Amish people though. First of all, they're probably way happier than us in the fields while we sit here on our stupid phone all day. Secondly, you don't know how a goddamn light bulb works. You don't know how any of this works. I dare you to try to build me a radio. Hershey's is a huge corporation, so I guarantee they're doing some evil shit. Yeah. They got a bunch of chocolate-covered child laborer skeletons in that candy-coated closet. But let's be honest, they couldn't be worse than Nestle. Hershey's is the way lesser of two evils in that comparison. If Hershey stole the last cookie from the cookie jar, Nestle robbed a bank at gunpoint. If Hershey's cheated on the test, Nestle killed the teacher. If Hershey's was a bad boy, Nestle was a worse boy. If Hershey's was a misdemeanor, Nestle was a felony. If Hershey's was O.J. Simpson, Nestle was Columbine. If Hershey's was 9/11, Nestle was the Holocaust. Jesus Christ. Nestle ditched brown chocolate for white chocolate, and now they've ditched white chocolate for what they like to call clear chocolate, aka water.
With clear chocolate, not only do people like it, they need it. Without it, they die. I wish we could have all the air, too. I wish we could have all the air and sell it. And the poor people would need us or they wouldn't be able to breathe.
Whatchamacallit? I actually don't remember what these taste like, so this is a genuine reaction. It says it's made with chocolate, peanut butter crisps, and caramel. A crisp, which by the way is hard to say plural, crisps. I like words like that.
It's like tasks.
Yeah, tasks. Guess I'll give it a whirl. If you stuck all the crisp rice from a Crackle or a Nestle Crunch into one like Rice Krispie kind of thing, but with smaller rice than a Rice Krispie treat, and much harder, and instead of a bunch of marshmallow, it's more like peanut butter and a little bit of caramel. Really bites by much. All those cyclists could use one of these for carbohydrate energy. I'd way rather have a Rice Krispie treat than this. It's like a hard Rice Krispie treat. This is like if the baby bear from Goldilocks wanted a Rice Krispie treat, and the Papa Bear was like, "Ugh, it's too soft." This is Papa Bear's Rice Krispie treat. I'm not super fucking with this, dude. I take a Snickers bar over this any day. Matter of fact, I take a Twix bar over this. I take a Kit Kat bar over this.
What would you take this over?
A Heath bar. Not a big fan of this one toffee thing. Although I do like Butterfinger, whatever that is. What's Butterfinger?
I don't like Butterfinger. I'd take a Heath over a Butterfinger. Butterfinger's the worst.
Butterfinger's amazing.
Yeah, if you wanted
what?
You want to be prying Butterfinger out of your teeth.
Sorry, dental hygienist. What are you fucking worried about? Cavities? Get out of here. Are you an American? Did you celebrate Halloween? Just brush your teeth afterwards. This almost tastes like it's more in the family of like Nutty Bars and Little Debbie in a weird way. You know what I'm saying?
Like a granola bar or no?
You know what's lacking? Nougats.
An underappreciated ingredient is nougat. You know, like a Three Musketeers, just pure nougat. It's kind of a nice candy bar.
This doesn't taste like a nougat. This tastes like an old git. This tastes like this is like new. You don't want to get it. New, get the fuck out of here. The texture makes it non-candy-ish. You ever had a crispy rice spicy tuna joint at a sushi thing?
Yeah.
I'd rather have spicy tuna on this. If you're not gonna have nougat, if you're not gonna have marshmallow, put spicy tuna. You know?
I guess.
I don't have a lot to say about this. I'm not really satisfied with it though. You know how Snickers satisfies?
Whatchamacallit?
This doesn't. Bart Simpson used to say, "You better not lay a finger on my Butterfinger." Well, this is Wax with whatchamacallit, and I'm here to say, you can whatchamafucking take it away from me. You want some?
Yeah.
You have your own. Get your own.
Okay. The cross section of it looks like a very flat Rice Krispie treat with a little bit of caramel on top.
Yeah, well, it's like Honey, I Shrunk the Rice Krispie treat. They took all the fluffy, marshmallowy goodness away.
I gotta disagree with you. I think this is great. You didn't even comment on the nice peanut butter flavor. It's great. Like, it's got a little bit of like Reese's peanut butter.
Yeah, a very little bit.
I would say instead of the nougat, it could use some actual peanuts, like little peanut crisps.
Sounds like you might as well call Quaker and ask for some granola bars.
Aren't the Quakers from Pennsylvania too?
Yeah.
You know, they're geographically close by. They could have like a little Pennsylvania Dutchamacallit.
Crisp rice.
Finished it. Delicious.
I was gonna give the Hershey's whatchamacallit a 6.5, but due to the endorsement of herbal tea, I gotta bump it up to a 7.5. So that's what they get.
I'm glowing, I'm shining, I'm feeling like a diamond in the rough.
Whatchamacallit was recommended by Tank the Ripper. Let us know in the comments, what should we review next? Hello everyone. I want to thank everyone for watching Season 1 of Snacks with Wax. I know I said I was going to do these for the whole year, but these are pretty darn time consuming to make and we just don't have the time right now. While we really do thoroughly enjoy the process of making these videos, we feel that Snacks with Wax is taking time away from other endeavors, both creative as well as personal. I would like to thank the good people at 7-Eleven, Frito-Lay, Little Debbie, the Girl Scouts, and the countless other members of the snacking community that helped make the 25 episodes we did this year possible. 25, y'all. To the fans, the snacketeers, as we affectionately have never referred to them. Thank you for riding with us on this journey. Whenever season 2 comes, hold on to your hats, because they will surely fly off in the wind of excitement. We bid you adieu for now.